Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Game Week 1 stream. We finally got a little bit of Phoenix playing. It's good to be properly back. We're going to discuss all your questions. I'm going to try and get to some of the super chats that are already coming in. Please bear with me. Why can I hear myself back? That's weird. Oh, no, I can't actually. Ignore me. I'm a little bit rusty. I haven't done many streams over pre-season. I'm going to try and get my team locked in. I don't know, maybe I say this every season, but there's a few players I'm just not completely sure about. No suit, it's too hot. Shorts and t-shirt for today. I'm sorry if that upsets you. Please unsubscribe if that's a problem. I will understand. Yeah, I'm on this as it stands. I've basically forced Bruno Fernandes in because I just don't like any of the 6.5 to 7.5 million midfielders. I'm still tempted by Garnacho, Rashford, Gordon. I don't think I'm going to go for Jota. I'm still tempted by Kwanzaa as well because I think he could be good value at Liverpool. But I think I'll only go for Kwanzaa if I get rid of Barco. I don't want both, I don't think. So that's where we land right now, basically. I wanted you in a three-piece suit. The problem is my suits are a bit big for me now, so they just don't look very good. Maybe I need to get a new one just for deadline streams. I'll get one for Game Week 1 next year. You can hold me to that. You have to remind me, though, closer to the time. Hang on, I just need to change the music. Otherwise, I'm going to listen to Phoenix for the next 3 hours, which would be a nightmare. Good song, but you don't want it that long. Hanny, new member, thank you very much. Cray, bench one of Smith Rowe, Kwanzaa, Mikalenko. Kwanzaa, probably. Trent and Garnacho or Gibbs White or Virgil. Oh, sorry. So Trent plus a 6.5 or Virgil plus Gordon. Ooh, I'd probably go the Trent one. Porro, Rogers, Eze, or Nkunku, Hall and Bailey, the first one. Trent, Eze, Jota, Pedro, I'd go for Haaland over Salah, basically. The thing is, right, so that's for Kron Julian. Like, the second one probably is better overall. It's just whether you're happy to go without Haaland for Game Week 2 captaincy. Like, that is the problem, right? I think if you show me a Salah draft, it will look better than my draft right now. It will just look better. But Haaland captain Game Week 2, you know? That's the problem. Wrong year, someone says. I changed the year to 2024-25. It should be correct now. Unless it says 23-24 somewhere else that I've missed. But I don't think so. Any thoughts on Amad Diallo? I mean, if he starts 5 million is good. I don't know. I can't picture and keep it. Like, basically, what happens when, like, Xerxes gets up to speed? Who drops out? One of Ahmad, Rashford, or Garnacho is going to have to go. And I think Garnacho was like one of Man United's best players last year. And if Rashford starts well, that he's not going to get kicked out. So that'll be a problem for me. Why the Eze hype? 7 million is a lot for a Crystal Palace player. I don't think it is. I mean, I've answered why is there so much Eze hype so many times over pre-season. He's nailed on while he's at Palace. He's on penalties. And his underlying stats are good. That is why he's in the team. And he's only 7 million. I actually think 7 million, like for 0.5 over the 6.5s, I think he's a bargain. Now, if he goes to Man City, he's rubbish. But right now, that hasn't happened. Garnacho, Gibbs, White, or Bailey. So I'm not going to go for Bailey out of those three. Gibbs White's the safe pick. I feel like Garnacho will start, and Fulham's a good fixture. But Gibbs White's probably the one on penalties. If I go down to another 6.5. I might be tempted by Garnacho, especially if we get a leak. Luke, thanks. David, thank you. Andrew, 31 months member, thank you very much. Here we go. Love your content. Haaland captain. There's nothing wrong with Haaland captain, even against Chelsea away. No Rodri, I guess, but I don't think it'll be that bad for Man City. Bookies have Eze more likely to go than to stay. Is that enough to decide to go without him? Maybe. Who'd you go for, though? I mean, honestly, so at one point earlier on, when I was thinking about what will I do if I don't go Eze, I had double Man United attack. I had Fernandes and Garnacho. I don't think I can do it to myself. Can you imagine double Man United attack for the second season in a row? Do you know what's worrying me about Man United is, like, if they don't get anything against Fulham, it's then Brighton away and Liverpool at home. Like, obviously they can get returns in those games, but it's not ideal. I've not hidden players because, I mean, ultimately you'll see this team everywhere anyway, right? It's not like it's full of picks you've never thought of. But also, I'm not quite sure where I'm going to land. I don't know if this will be the final team. Like, I can show you some, like, the variation of this. I hate this new layout. I tell you now, FPL, if you're watching, your new layout does not work well for my streams. It's fine like this, but anytime I want to play with a website, I've got to reduce the size, and then it just looks a bit rubbish. Okay, transfers. So the other option, let me just put that a bit bigger, is Fernandes out to... Oh, let me find him. Oh my God, this is horrible. To Anthony Gordon. That gives me $1 million to spend. Where will I spend that $1 million? Probably Barco out and Rodgers out to good old Kwanzaa. Oh, if I can spell his name correctly. And probably back to Smith Rowe. Either way, probably keeping João Pedro, even though I'm not fully convinced by him as well. So it would look something like that instead, without Fernandes. It's close. It's close between the two. Like, ultimately, like, Kwanzaa is not that much more of a safe pick than Barco, really, I would say. And Smith Rowe, I think, like, for me, Smith Rowe will definitely have better, as long as they're fit right, Smith Rowe will definitely have better longer-term minutes than Rodgers. But if Rodgers keeps playing, $5 million's a bargain. And he's one of those players that you could end up with in your team for like 20 game weeks. So it's really close. João Pedro, I keep going like back and forth on. I think he's going to start the season, and yes, Rutter might come in and Ferguson might get fit again, but who knows when those two things will happen. And João Pedro will be ahead of them in terms of kind of fitness and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that João Pedro will play well enough to keep his place. And he's only 5.5, so it's not like he has to go and get me hat tricks every week anyway. Like, whichever way I set up the team, I very rarely got 0. Well, I could just go for Barker instead of Kwanzaa and then João Pedro to Meniz, I guess. Or Chris Wood. It's a tough one. It's like, the problem is we're so close to the deadline now that everyone just feels like a risk. Or everyone just feels like they're just not good enough right now. I just need the deadline to get through. Like, I don't even really want Bruno Fernandes, but it almost feels like I've got to try and force him in. Does the hub rate Szoboszlai? I'm not sure. You'd have to go and double check. Let me have a look here. My problem with Szoboszlai is you just don't know where he's going to play. Like, is he definitely going to play number 10 every game? I don't think we can say that. Saka or Odegaard? Probably Saka. I mean, Saka down to like a Fernandes would give me money to upgrade Gordon or Eze, but then who is there? Like Odegaard? I don't know. Apart from the obvious, is this team good to go? Pickford, Trent, Kwanzaa, Hall, Palmer, Saka, Son, Jota, and Kunku, Isak, Solanke, Virginia, Vardy, Barco, 4.5. I don't know what you mean. Oh, apart from the obvious, no Haaland. Yeah, looks pretty good. I mean, Lewis Hall and Kwanzaa are both going to be risks for minutes long term. So just keep that in mind, especially when you got Barco as well. I'd personally prefer at least one more safer 4.5 maybe. But you know the drill, right? If Hall and Kwanzaa keep starting, they're both really good value. Sticking with this team, if not, what changes? The stuff I just talked about. Start 2 of Meniz, Roger. Like, my team is not locked in until the deadline. Like, there could be a last-minute bit of news. Might get a team leak. You never know. Maybe we'll find out that Gabriel is not starting. I don't know. Maybe there'll be something I just haven't thought of. Like, one thing I don't think I've given enough consideration to is I've got Conjure and Robinson on the bench. How often am I actually going to play them? Could I afford to go for a different 4.5? How do I get to this point and not know that? Start 2 of Meniz, Rodgers, or Nkunku. Nkunku. I think Nkunku for sure. I'd be a little bit tempted by Rodgers, but probably Meniz. Son and Wood or Bruno and Solanke, really hard. Probably Bruno and Solanke, to be honest with you. Erez 12 member, thank you very much. FPL is back. Would you start in Nkunku or Meniz? And Nkunku again, yeah. Haaland, Solanke or Vardio and Armstrong / João Pedro. Probably Vardio. Like the thing is, there's a caveat, right? The answer is almost certainly Vardio and João Pedro if João Pedro keeps starting. So probably that one. But I like Solanke. I think he's a good option, but I haven't like in the team you're seeing right there. One consideration is to do Anthony Gordon and João Pedro to another 5.5 like Minter and go for Solanke as well. So basically, instead of playing one of João Pedro or Smith Rowe every week, I play one of Smith Rowe or Minter. That's also a consideration, but surely Gordon will start game week 1. Xander, 24 months, thank you very much. Team set, I just need to start one from Konza, Barco or Robinson. I've got those 3. Konza, I think, is what Hub recommends. I'm probably going to go Barco, I think, if I've got that same conundrum. Raya and Munoz versus Henderson and Saliba. Trent and Robinson in. I'd probably rather just go for the 4.5. Why is everyone picking Jota over Luis Diaz? Because he's just going to... They all think he's going to play number 9. I mean, personally, I think there's probably more chance Luis Diaz gets minutes long term, but who really knows with Slot and Liverpool? Henderson, Gabriel on a 4. Defender, Raya, Kwanzaa, 4.5. Probably the Henderson, Gabriel one. Bear in mind, I really like 4.5 goalkeepers, so my answer's pretty much always going to be that. I mean, bear that in mind, or any questions you ask, I'm probably going to always prefer the one that's closest to my own team. Should I do Eze to Gordon? I've got 0.5 in the bank. I think Eze's better unless he goes to Man City. Hi from Miami. Nice. I bet it's warmer than it is here. Looking forward to the season. Keep up your great work. You helped me get 4,882nd rank last year. Nice. I wish I'd helped myself do that. Thinking about Trippier as he's attacking also. I wouldn't go for Trippier. We talked about him early on. I mean, is there still a chance he might leave? Possibly. Could Livramento get minutes there? Possibly. I just wouldn't go for him. I think I'd go for like Van Dijk, Gabriel, Saliba, Vardio. Trent, Garnacho, Gordon, or Gabriel and Nkunku, Bruno. Yeah, I've considered dropping Trent to Gabriel. I just don't think I can bring myself to do it. So I'm going to say the Trent one. Bailey and Porro or Jota and Robinson. Bailey and Porro, I think. Probably better for minutes too. And 24-month member, thank you very much. Salah, Kwanzaa, Smith Rowe, Brereton, Diaz, João Pedro, or Solanke, Saka, Jota, Johnson. I don't think you can go Brennan Johnson. There's no guarantee he starts. Jota's, you've got to go for the first one, I think, even though you got 5.5s. In my opinion, what's the news on Lewis Hall? There isn't really any news. Everyone's absolutely convinced he's going to start game week 1. I think he probably will too. But long term, who knows? Haaland and Kwanzaa plus Rodgers or Solanke, Saka and Trent. I have Salah and won't move off him. I mean, Praz is going for a Salah and Haaland team, at least like when we spoke on the FPL show today. And his team doesn't look that bad, to be honest. But I still think, when I look at it there, I just think Solanke, Saka and Trent is so much better than Haaland, Kwanzaa and Rodgers. So I'd probably just go for that one. If you can brave it going through game week 2 about Haaland, why don't I have Rodgers? Because I've got Smith Rowe instead. I have very little love for Amad Diallo for FPL, right? Obviously, good player. I'm hoping he does really well for Man United, but I just can't convince myself that he's going to start long term. He's only 5 million, so maybe he's worth the risk. I think I'd rather go for Rodgers. Even if he starts today, like when is he going to start game week? This is where the problems just start coming in. Is Clive at the best 5.5 million midfielder? He might be right up there if he has penalties for sure, but we don't know that. So I'd probably say my favourite 3 are probably Smith Rowe, Minter, and Brereton Diaz. I'm surprised no one is talking about Doku, considering Grealish, Foden, and Bob are likely out. Yeah, but Foden is likely in the squad for Chelsea. Grealish, I think, is back as well. I don't think he's not. I think he's fine. Bernardo can play one side. I think if Doku was a bit cheaper, I think if he was 5.5, more people would be considering him. I mean, that's obvious to say. You could say that about a lot of players, right? But I think he was 5.5. The 6.5 just puts him off a little bit. Why is Brereton, Diaz and Bruno so popular all of a sudden? Is it a beard thing? I mean, Brereton, Diaz, like, again, you get towards game week 1, people start trying to cut corners with money, right? So they're looking for 5.5s. Brereton, Diaz, 6 goals in 14 appearances last year for Sheffield United. He's cheap. Bruno, for me, is just... I'm struggling to find the 6.5 to 7.5s that I like. I wish I could get on board with Diogo Jota. I really do. And I mean, I was going to say that I hope he absolutely smashes it for people, but actually I want you all to fail so I can win. But it's the kind of player I wish I could get on board with. I just... Like, is he going to start against Ipswich? Almost certainly. Is he going to start the next game? Like, I just don't know if I want that hassle. Well, you don't have that problem with Bruno. My only concern with Bruno is the next 2 fixtures afterwards. If he blanks against Fulham, it's going to feel really bad. Who would you start, Rodgers or Smith Rowe? I think that's actually a tough one because Man United and West Ham defences were both really bad last year. Like, could the new signings for Man United come straight in, like De Ligt, Mazraoui? Possibly. Will they be stronger than last year? Possibly. I mean, West Ham are almost certainly going to be not as bad as well. Rodgers has probably had a more pre-season time than Smith Rowe. I'm trying to take the bias out of it. Like, and I actually mean bias as in, I actually think Man United are going to be terrible, but part of that is being a fan. I'd probably start Smith Rowe, I think. Matt and Zoltan, thank you very much. Been following since 2020. Wow, long time. Long time. Time flies. My team is similar, except Zhao to Solanke, Porro to Mikalenko, Gordon to Jota, and Smith Rowe to Rodgers. Too risky. I mean, Solanke's less of a risk than João Pedro, I would say. Porro's good, but Mikalenko should be nailed if he's fit. I prefer Gordon to Jota, but I get it, as I've just spoken about. And Rodgers is fine. How about you do Gordon, Saka, and Porro to Salah, Morgan Gibbs-White, and a 4.5 million defender? Does that work? 2.5, 1.5. Yeah, it would, wouldn't it? How about you do Gordon, Saka, and Porro? I'm going to stick. I'm going without Salah, I've decided. Hi from FL. Is that Florida? Is FL Florida? Finland? Probably not Finland. Oh, it could be Finland. Finland. Hi, anyway. Smith Rowe or Pereira or another 5.5. I think Smith Rowe is my favourite 5.5. Andreas Pereira could be good, but there's still a few kind of bits of speculation he might leave. He would be on penalties, though, so that's what he's interested. But I'd probably rather go Smith Rowe. Gordon or Eze, Salah or Jota, Salah, and Lewis. Oh, wait. Salah or Jota and Luis Diaz and Haaland. I'm confused there. I mean, I'd go Salah and Haaland, but that's probably not the question. I'm not sure what the question is there. Pick 2, Konza, Robinson, Hall, and Kwanzaa. Probably the first 2, because that's the 2 that I've chosen. Saka, Palmer, and Smith Rowe. Or Saka, Fernandes, and Diaz. Saka, Palmer, and Smith Rowe. Ooh. I mean, probably Saka, Fernandes, and Diaz, but with, like, Gordon maybe instead. No Haaland and Salah. Wow, okay, good luck. Good luck. Son and Rodgers or... I mean, if you're not having... If Smith Rowe's your bench player a lot of the time, then Saka and Palmer, but otherwise the Saka and Fernandes one. Son and Rodgers or Eze and Diaz. Son are underestimated. Son's good, but a lot of people just have Saka or Palmer. I'd go Eze and Diaz, I think. How about the possible Rutter transfer to Brighton? Yeah, I mean, that could be a problem for João Pedro if it goes through. Like, could Rutter come in and then João Pedro moves to number 9? Possibly, but then you've got Welbeck plays 9, Ferguson back at some point. Like, if you're going to go through with João Pedro to the deadline, you have to just accept there's some risk there. But for 5.5, it could be fine. And also, again, another thing I have to keep reminding myself of. Let's say that João Pedro... Let's say I've got this team right in front of you, and João Pedro loses his place. Is it the end of the world if I have to play Smith Rowe every single week or a 5.5 million mid? Because, I mean, okay, maybe there's a little bit of risk with Nkunku in case Chelsea sign another 10 players. Maybe there's a bit of risk with Eze in case he goes to Man City. But outside of those small risks, all those attackers are basically nailed on when they're fit. So the worst case scenario is João Pedro loses his place and I play Smith Rowe every week. Best case scenario, João Pedro keeps his place. He's got good fixtures in 4 and 5. He's on penalties and he absolutely smashes it. I do think if you've got the 0.5 to go to like a Muniz or someone like that, that's maybe a bit safer for minutes. But Miniz doesn't have penalties. And Chris Wood, maybe he loses his place at some point as well. Like, there's a lot of uncertainty. That's why people are kind of very tempted to go Game Week 4 or Game Week 6 wildcard. But it's another reason I quite like Fernandes is because if I put him in, there's no worries about him losing his play stuff. I can just concentrate my transfers elsewhere. But you can also say the same about Gordon. As long as Gordon's going to start Game Week 1, which hopefully he will, like we know how much he's loved by Eddie Howe, and he always plays. I'm just checking to see if I've got any team news about Newcastle. Someone's just randomly DM'd me and said, "Do you know what? Actually, you're right. Gordon is going to start." Nothing so far. Jota or Gordon? I have again. I prefer Jordan. I was going to say Jordan then. I prefer Gordon. Okay, where do we get up to? Bruno and Wood or Gordon and Solanke? Probably Gordon and Solanke. Vardio, Miniz or Robinson and Solanke. Vardio and Miniz, I think. Just get Kwanzaa and Barkham instead of Robinson. I don't want both. I feel like they're both risks. I want one or the other. Basically, if I've got enough money to upgrade Barco to Kwanzaa, I probably will. And also, by the way, if I go Kwanzaa, Trent, and Jota, that blocks Salah, so I probably wouldn't do that. Odegaard and Tony / Solanke. Odegaard and Tony / Solanke. Or Saka and Miniz. Do you know what? Honestly, that's really close. Odegaard and Solanke could outscore, but I'm going to say Saka and Miniz. But again, it's closer to my squad, right? So I would. Simply FPL, 24 months. Hope you're doing well. 2 million in the bank, no Haaland. What could possibly go wrong? Nothing. I don't think anything could go wrong there. I think you'd be fine. Trent and Bruno or Saka and Porro. Ooh, damn. That's I flip a coin. Saka and Porro. Jota or Gordon again. Yeah, Gordon. Maybe I should put that somewhere. I'm already feeling like I've gotten rid of the ticker. Maybe the ticker needs to come back. The team news bit in the bottom right is a little bit small, isn't it? But that's because I said that it should be that small. Yeah, I don't know. But then no one read the ticker, so who cares? I meant Salah draft or a draft with Haaland. And Jota and Diaz, the other midfielders would be Saka and Smith Rowe. So I'm going Haaland, but I think Salah drafts look better overall, and I would go for probably Jota over Diaz just because he could start number 9 for the next couple of games. Haaland, Jota, Smith Rowe, Salah, De Bruyne, and Muniz. The Haaland one for me. Thoughts on Kamada as a 5.5 versus the other 5.5 if no Eze? I guess his minutes go up if there's no Eze, but maybe Palace's attack overall goes down when they've lost Eze and Elise. That would be pretty bad. But Kamada's pretty good, yeah. I don't prefer him to Minter, Smith Rowe, Brereton, Diaz, maybe close. Yo-Yo, 10 months, thank you. Solanke, Smith Rowe, Porro, or João Pedro and Kunku, Vardio. Again, it's tough, man. I think the first one might actually be slightly better. Welcome back, thank you. Welcome back to all of you. My 3-4-3 team: Henderson, Minoz, Kwanzaa, Robinson, and Kunku, Palmer, Jota, Fernandes, Haaland. Palmer, Jota, sorry. Buzzing for this season. Nice, good luck. Solid team. Starting Kunku or Rodgers. I'm going to go in Kunku at home. He's going to smash it. How do you feel about no Salah or Haaland? I think it can work. If someone really wants to do that, I wouldn't talk him out of it. I do think it's nice just to have that captaincy to fall back on with Salah or Haaland. Like if you're stuck with a captain or you're not quite sure where to go, you just put it on them because they're so consistent. But honestly, I think you can build a viable squad without them. You just got to figure out your captains every week. Thoughts on Bowen? It seems no one talks about him. I mean, yeah, maybe he's the 7.5 million option. I just don't like the fixtures that much for West Ham early on. I think I'd prefer to go for Gordon. Like, fixtures play a big part in terms of what people choose, you know? Salah, Jota, Miniz, or Saka and Kunku, Pedro. The Saka one, I think. Again, I'm always probably going to choose the one that's most like my team, so keep that in mind. I mean, I know not everyone's team is always going to be exactly the same, but or the questions might not necessarily relate to my team, but a lot of the time they do. Listen to what I say. Got to turn around. Okay, let me just quickly just bring something up here. Hey. Why no Arsenal defence? Just the fixtures earlier. Honestly, there's part of me tempted to go back to Arsenal defence. So the Arsenal defence, and by the way, Fabianski would probably be someone else. I probably wouldn't go Fabianski. I don't know. Bentley at Wolves, or I might go for Slicker. I haven't decided yet. Formerly a hand goalkeeper is not top of my thought process right now. So Gordon. So this is the team that I was on, like on my team selection, which I still think looks pretty good. Would be Garnacho in, Kwanzaa to Barco. Let me just put him in here. And then 1.5 million. Probably Robinson instead of Kwanzaa out for Gabriel. So this is my Arsenal defense, like variant of my draft that I've been thinking about. Something like that. I hate this, by the way. This is am I the only one that's getting this? It's so annoying. Every time I save my team, this pops up. Like, it just feels so obnoxious. FPL, get it off. Turn it off. It's really annoying. Especially for game week 1. So yeah, this is the Gabriel draft, basically. I like it. I really like it. But I don't know. I can get to Fernandes or Gordon instead of Garnacho. It's really annoying. I don't know. It's not going to be such a problem for game week 2 onwards, because you're only going to save your team one. Well, actually, for subs and stuff, you're not necessarily. Just play challenge and it'll be gone. Oh, okay. Is that why? Because I haven't set up my challenge team yet. I've not even given that any thought. I've not even set up a league for it. My team: Henderson, Trent Robinson, Anderson, Mikalenko, Barker, Eze, Gibbs, White, Bruno, Saka, Smith, right. Yeah, sounds good. I mean, most people are going to have a pretty good team at this point. If you're happy with it, go with it. Smith Rowe, Meniz is a long-term pick. I know Meniz isn't on pens, but not sure of Smith Rowe's integration into the 11. So I think Smith Rowe will play pretty advanced. Probably like a 10 or maybe off the left is probably the two places he's going to play most. He's also 0.5 cheaper. I think long-term, both of them will be in the team pretty regularly. Like, there's probably more of a chance that Smith Rowe doesn't start game week 1 versus Meniz, but I think he will. There's just more chance that he wouldn't. Will, 11 months, thank you very much. Vardio and Kunku or Trent Smith Rowe? I'm going to say Trent Smith Rowe, even though I love Nkunku. Vardio and Eze or Porro and Jota? Vardio and Eze. Moro, member for 4 months, thank you very much. Gabriel and Chris Wood / Meniz or Konza and Solanke? Gabriel. Stephen, how's it going? 76 months, ridiculous. Will you hit 100 months? You're only 2 years away from 100 months. Is that right? Never done the maths right? Yeah, two years. I'm struggling to get to Trent. Would you go Van Dijk or go down to Kwanzaa? Ooh, good question. I'd be tempted to go down to Kwanzaa and risk it, especially if it gives you a bunch of other upgrades. Like, Van Dijk's fine, but you potentially save 1.5, don't you? And before anyone says, well, if you do Trent to Kwanzaa, you save 2.5, that is true. But Trent's so attacking, I don't really want to... Could I do that? Could I go Gabriel, Porro and Kwanzaa? If I do Trent to Kwanzaa, that gives me 2.5. So that's Garnacho to Fernandes, and like 0.5. That's like 0.5 in the bank. I'll probably even keep João Pedro. It just doesn't. It doesn't feel right to drop Trent and not Gabriel. That's my main worry with that. Gabriel and Solanke to Porro and Havertz. I prefer the former. Gabriel and Solanke, I think. Solanke, Smith Rowe and Fass, or João Pedro, Eze and Kwanzaa. The second one probably. Close though. Garnacho, Solanke, ESR, or Bruno, Ahmad and Garnacho, I think. Solanke and Smith Rowe. Do I think Ahmad starts? There's got to be a chance. People are more confident than I am, but there's got to be a chance. I haven't seen any leaks yet, but we're not ones that I would like 100% trust that I've seen from before. So we'll have to wait and see till we get close to the deadline. Favourite FPL channel? Let's Talk FPL. It's good. Would you rather have Trent or Jota? I want to stick with 2 pool players, so I've got Salah and Jota for now. Trent, probably. I feel like his minutes will be much better long term. I remember back when we had a stream and you were asking to reach 100k subs by the end of the season. How far you've come. I know. I want to hit 500k by the end of the season. It's not going to happen, though. If you haven't already, by the way, hit that subscribe button. Be much appreciated. Do these deadline streams throughout the whole season. So make sure to subscribe and all that good stuff. I can manually update the number of subscribers now in the top right. We're only 62 away from 414k. So hit that subscribe button. I'll update it on the stream. You'll see how quick it is. Okay. Is it rushed to get Solanke game week 1? Richarlison took months to make sense in that line. I don't think so. Like, again, though, like Solanke's just a perfectly good pick. He's not suddenly essential. Like, you know, like if you want to go for him, it's fine. But he's not. Him moving to Spurs has not suddenly made him must-have. Like, that's all I can say on him, really. What do I think about Maatsen? I think he could be a bargain for 5 million FPL, but they got like Moreno still there, right, and Luka Dean. So like Maatsen's probably going to be first choice at some point, if not straight away. But there's still too much risk there, especially like around Champions League, etc. I have Salah already. Which one would you pick alongside him in midfield? I have to decide between Jota or Bowen. Or maybe I'd risk Jota in that case. Pope, nice. Trent, Dalot. Smith Rowe, Saka, Eze, Jota, Haaland, Solanke, and Isak. Any changes? Dalot's probably fine this week. I'm not sure how great he is after that. That would be my only bit of feedback. Going to keep Garnacho with no early team news. This is where I'm like, I don't know, maybe. This is where I'm like conflicted because I think people are really, like, people are very hyped up on Amad Diallo, and I'm like quite low. I really think Garnacho's minutes are being underestimated, but no one's like talking about him. Like, Garnacho was essentially first choice for Man United last year. He was very good. But he's not had much of pre-season where he just came on in the Community Shield. So I don't know. Gabriel might get dropped. Or Trent for Kwanzaa. Oh, I don't know. Salah and Smith Rowe or Saka and Jota? Salah and Smith Rowe, I think. A Fulham 4 million goalkeeper could replace Leno. Could he, though? Could he? Is a safe pick for long term? Yes, as long as he stays at Crystal Palace. If not, who for 7 million? Probably in Burma or Rashford. That's the only really ones I'd look at that price. Saka, Jota, Solanke, or Nkunku, Salah, Wood? Nkunku, Salah, Wood. Salah or Isak captain? I think if you've got Salah, you've got to captain him, right? Against Ipswich. Maybe not. I think Isak might be better, but I feel like if I had Salah, I'd probably have to do it. Henderson, Munoz, Anya, Robinson, Gusto, Salah, Palmer, Gordon, Solanke, Haaland, Menez. Wait, that looks too good. Oh, wait, hang on, the bench. Fabianski, Rogers, Harwood, Bellis, and Bergvall. I mean, Bergvall, I'm not convinced he's going to get that many minutes, but Spurs fans are fairly convinced, so I'm probably wrong on that. That's all I can say is when I read that out, I guess you've got no premium defenders. That's where the money's being saved. Yeah, it's fine. I think for a Haaland Salah draft, it's fine. The bench would worry me a little bit. Henderson and Porro or Raya and Kwanzaa got Trent. Henderson and Porro. Have you played Fantasy Premier League Draft, and what on earth is it? I've not played the FPL one, no. I've done a mock draft on the Sleeper app. I'm partnered with them for this season. The link's in the description below. If you want to join the Pick'em League, by the way, there's a Premier League shirt of your choice to the winner. They've also got a draft mode on there that's completely free and like fully customizable and stuff. I've not played the FPL one, I don't think. Henderson, Vardiol, Porro, Kwanzaa, Nkunku, Eze, Saka, Jota, Haaland, Isak, and Solanke. Konsa, Turner, Winks, and Robertson on the bench. Any thoughts? Yes, great. Like, again, at this point, most people have got really solid drafts. Like, you know my thoughts on Jota. I'm not completely convinced. I think Winks is like a boring 4.5, but there's not many great ones. I wouldn't go for Turner. Just get rid of him for a lower-owned 4 million goalkeeper. He's like third choice for Forest. Saliba, Eze, Garnacho, Porro, Gordon, and Nkunku. I mean, probably Porro, Eze, and Kunku. I think if that works, it should work. You're going for an aggressive, risky approach to the first couple of game weeks. Nice. The Sleeper app is the GOAT for NFL fantasy. Yeah, I was doing a bit of reading up on it. Apparently it's really popular, really good. And basically they've come to Europe and now doing Premier League stuff. And they got a team that's like making changes really quick. It's going to be like, it's basically like, it's not just a fantasy football app, it's also like a football app. So there's loads of stats, news, you can chat to friends and stuff in there. It's cool. It's free to download as well. And there's, like I said, there's a Pick'em League. Not going to keep talking about it every 5 minutes, but if you want to download it, link in the description. Okay. Where are we? Thoughts on Bowen? It seems no one talks about him. Will he take penalties? I don't think so. I think Ward-Prowse will be ahead. Oh, so you're saying he will take penalties, free kicks, and corners if Ward-Prowse doesn't play? He's captain now as well. I'm not sure he would be on penalties. Like Fulkrug, when he gets up to speed, would probably take him maybe ahead of him. Like Bowen's record's not great from what I remember. But I think Bowen is like just a standard. Standard's the wrong word. Like he's just a pretty solid FPL pick because he always plays, and his goal threat's pretty decent. But I just don't particularly like the fixtures early on. Like Bowen will definitely come into my consideration later on. Why are you keeping Gabriel 3 out of 5 game weeks? You might bench him. Why is Eze so nailed? He's nailed for Palace. He's on penalties. Stats are good. In my opinion, Jota is not an upgrade on Eze if he stays at Palace. I'd rather do Nkunku to Jota or Gordon, I think. Yeah, well, I don't know. Who else do I go for instead of Gabriel? Like, this is the dilemma, right? It's Gabriel and Garnacho or Gordon and a 4.5. Like this is my entire dilemma. I think I'm going to end up selling Gabriel because I just want to put more money into my attack. I know I said there's part of me that just wants to just completely avoid Man United, just because. What do I think the mystery chip will be? I got no idea. Ward-Prowse unlikely to play. Could be Paqueta on. Oh yeah, Paqueta on pens possibly. He's taken them before, right? Can you pause live chat to keep up with all the questions? No idea, but like there's like 10,000 people maybe watching or close to. Oh no, I was wrong. There's 11,000 people watching, so I'm never going to keep up with all the questions. Like it's impossible. Oh, we've hit 414,000 subscribers. Happy days. Let me just update that. Maybe I should do a prize for every 1,000 subscribers we get in this stream. I got no interest in Murphy from Newcastle. Zero interest. This is the most stressful day of the year. Are there going to be more stressful game weeks? Probably. Probably. The first game week's always tough because you've had so long in pre-season to think about it, and then it feels like you haven't thought about it enough. And you know, you're not having to make a decision about whether to wildcard and stuff like that. Everyone's in the same boat. They all get to pick a brand new team. And because you've thought of so many players, it's then hard to fit them all in. And you just don't want to mess it up in the first couple of game weeks. But just accept that it's going to go badly. Or something's going to go wrong. It will happen. Hopefully that makes you feel better. That's my takeaway from this stream. Whatever team you pick, it's going to go wrong. There you go. Enjoy FPL. It's a really fun game. Wood or Awani? Definitely Wood. Because Awani might not. He's probably not going to start. He probably will eventually if he can get like properly match fit and gets a few sub appearances and stuff, but not sure right away. Salah, Eze, Watkins, or Haaland, Jota, and Kunku. Haaland. Hudson, Odoi, or Rodgers and keep 0.5. Probably Rodgers. The thing people forget about Solanke being a great option is Son, Werner, and Johnson are great crosses into the box, and that's where Solanke thrives. Yeah, Solanke's really good. But he's not must-have, that's all. Henderson, Vardy, Trent, Saliba, Jota, Smith Rowe, Saka, and Kunku. Eze, Isak, Haaland, thoughts? Great. It's a good team. Like, you got 3 premiums, decent. Some value players in there, and Kunku, Smith Rowe. Eze's good. Isak. I mean, a lot of people have got Haaland, Isak front lines, so you're onto a winner. Solanke and Salah or Haaland and Bruno? Solanke and Salah, Haaland and Bruno. Son as a captain. Don't mind it as a differential. I don't think he's the best this week, but yeah, don't hate it. Do you really believe Porro is 0.5 more valuable than Udogie? Well, is Udogie definitely going to start? Is the first question. Presumably he will. Yeah, Porro's more attacking, but Udogie is actually more attacking than I think people realise. So it's possible, yeah, it's possible that Udogie could be good if you really need the 0.5. I think Porro is the more attacking of the two. Okay, Doggie's fit enough now. Okay. Honestly, people keep asking me what do I think the mystery chip is. My thoughts are I'm not even sure FPL know what it is yet. I reckon they've announced there's this big mystery chip to maybe keep people engaged until January, and they don't know what it is. It also like I know this in the grand scheme of all the things going on in the world, this is not a big deal, right? But specifically for FPL as a game, it's a bit annoying that we don't know what it is because you might want to plan other chips around it, right? So, like some people are bench boosting in game week 1. It might be that the mystery chip really helps bench boost or something like that. You just, I don't know. It's probably just be like they'll probably just be like, oh, it's a third wild card. What a mystery. All out attack. There's no way they can big up a chip for like 5-6 months and then say, oh, by the way, all out attack is back. There's no way that will happen. I bet you it'll be what F1 Fantasy has, and it will be an automatic change on your captain. I mean, I would definitely use that in a double game week. There is part of me that agrees with what Mitchell has just said. The mystery chip will be so overwhelming. Like that's the problem. You announce it so early, people have high expectations. Like it can almost certainly never be as good as people are going to hope it's going to be. Thoughts on Doku Savino, high risk, high reward? I'd probably go Doku if I was going to go for one. Can I guarantee they're starting? No. Florida, carry. Oh, again, much warmer than here, I'm sure. Palmer and Smith Rowe, Saka and Bruno Guimaraes. Well, I'd actually just go Saka and Smith Rowe. Saka's cheaper than Palmer. Kwanzaa and Saka or Kwanzaa and Saka. Eze or Garnacho and Minoz or Eze over Garnacho, and then probably Minoz over Matson just for minutes. Good luck and keep up the great content. Thank you very much. Keep watching. There'll be streams. I mean, this is the first of 38 streams this season. 38 deadline streams plus 38 knee-jerk streams. 38 team selection, etc. You get it, right? Salah draft. Thinking about a top 3 of Isak, Meniz, Havertz. Not sold on Solanke. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think potentially that 0.5 million saving could be good for Solanke. But yeah, Havertz is good too, as long as he keeps playing number 9. I forgot Solanke's name there. Is it crazy not to have Trent? No. But have, let's say, Bruno, Solanke, Van Dijk. The other alternatives could match or outscore Trent. Yeah, it's not crazy. Yeah, I mean, could I, like, okay, let me just quickly run through this, right? Let's say I drop Trent and I go for the big dog, Jarrell Kwanzaa. And I also probably get rid of Barco because I don't want Kwanzaa and Barco, I don't think. And I go for Robinson because he's got Leicester at home in Game Week 2. Although, straight away, I'd probably... Oh, yeah, no, I've got no Trent. So I'd play Robinson, Kwanzaa, Porro. So what does that give me? 2 million. So it's probably just straight Garnacho to Fernandes. But as I keep coming back to... I'm not sure I can... Just going for Kwanzaa over Trent just feels like trying to be way too smart. I don't know. I mean, there's potentially a lot of value there, right? So something like that works. I mean, even Smith Rowe to Rodgers would give me another 0.5 if I want to upgrade somewhere else. Here. Kwanzaa and Salah or Trent and Saka. Yeah, I think it's Trent and Saka. Although, you're right, though, actually, aren't you? If I... Oh, no, I need 2.5 million. Yeah, hang on a second. Right, let's just play around with this a minute. Let's do Fernandes back to Garnacho. And then Smith Rowe to Rodgers. Now I'm starting to build a team like... I think Praz has got a team similar to this. And then Salah instead of Saka. So could go for something like that. I mean, as Salah and Haaland drafts go, it ain't that bad, is it? Actually looks pretty good. What was... Hang on, let me have a quick look here. I know Praz is on... Praz is on Salah and Haaland. I think if Garnacho starts, I like my draft over Praz's one. I think that looks... Yeah, he hasn't got Porro. He's got no other premium... Oh, he's got Trent, though. He's got Trent. That's the big difference. Yeah, so instead of Garnacho, he's got Smith Rowe, and then he's got Trent instead of Gabriel. But he's also... Who else has he got? Oh, he's got Diogo Jota instead of Nkunku, so that's another million. I'm happy with Nkunku, though, to be honest. Saka, Trent versus Salah, Kwanzaa. The thing is, Trent and Saka is just so much more reliable, right? It seems very unlikely. Like, Bradley is a good player, so he could take minutes off Trent, but I don't know if I see it that much. Why is no one talking about Robertson? He's just not featured much during pre-season, has he? So I guess people are a little bit worried. Yeah, it does look good. For a Salah draft, it does look good. Saka and Trent is just better, right? I think it's just better. I don't know, though. As Salah and Haaland drafts go, it's really not that bad. Really not that bad at all. Why am I so confident on Nkunku? I mean, what do you mean by that? What confident in what way? That he's going to get points? That he's going to start? I don't... What do you mean when you say am I confident in Nkunku? I'm not confident about anyone. I've just picked 15 players. I'm hoping for the best. I'm just winging it a little bit, in all honesty. Let me see here. Oh, I've lost where I was now. Haaland and Nkunku, or Watkins and Salah. Haaland and Nkunku. How's my team? Henderson, Lumley, White, or Ben White. Don't see him around very often. Trent, Hall, Bruno, Eze, Murphy, Saka, Rodgers, Meniz, Haaland. Again, yeah. Oh no, wait. Sorry, I thought you had Salah and Haaland. Where's all your money gone? I feel like that bench is quite cheap, to be honest. But I can't work out with them. Oh, yeah, I don't think Ben White's where. I'd probably use that 0.5 to get a better defender, and I think. What car do I drive? An electric one. Rodgers or Meniz? I'll start. Meniz. Saka, Jota, Solanke, or Salah, Eze, João Pedro. Salah, Eze, João Pedro, I think. Is Fast a good economic option? He's a good 4 million, yeah? I mean, he's much more likely to keep his place than Barco. But Barco's probably got a bit more potential upside. Rodgers and Vardiol. Rodgers and Vardiol, or Bailey and a 4.5 million defender. The Rodgers one, I think. Jandra, 60 months, thank you very much. Meniz and Nkunku, Smith Rowe, or Solanke, Smith Rowe, Rodgers. Oh, so basically it's Meniz and Nkunku versus Solanke and Rodgers, right? But that's not even... Oh yeah, 1.5. I think it's Solanke and Rodgers. Fight start, thank you very much. Punt on Ahmad or start Nkunku. If you've got Ahmad in your team, you might as well start him, right? Thoughts on Mazraoui? Do you think he starts? I think there's a good chance if he's fit and available, he gets thrown straight in, because Man United do not have a left back. He's only 4.5 million. I guess the question is, how many times after this week do you want to play him? FPL have just tweeted, give us your boldest prediction. They've put a picture of Arne Slot. Let's see what they're doing there. Odegaard or Gordon? Gordon for me, I think. I think I just prefer him plus the million. Would be my initial thoughts. Am I mad for only having one City? I mean, I've got exactly the same. They're crazy. No interest in Cole Palmer. I mean, I've got a bit of interest, but not enough to put him in my team ahead of Saka, which would be the thing I would have to do. Wood or Meniz? I think there is a chance that Meniz is slightly better, but wait, Wood or Meniz? Yeah, Meniz, I think. Meniz. And we're never gonna survive unless. Am I sticking with João Pedro? I think I probably will be. Yes. Any Fulham news? Not that I've seen. That's a good point, actually. I keep thinking about Man United news, but Fulham news would also be pretty handy. Although I'm just gonna bench Smith Rowe either way. I think. If I get him back right now, I'm on Rodgers. Wait, hang on. Why am I on Rodgers? Oh, because I've got Gabriel. Saka and a 4 million defender or Eze and Trent? Probably Eze and Trent. Start Hall, Burn, or Smith Rowe. Ooh, if you've got Lewis Hall, I feel like you've got to start him in game week 1. Like this is his best fixture for like another 12 game weeks, or maybe even more. I don't know if you could maybe start Smith Rowe ahead of a different attacker. Trent and Nkunku or Gabriel Gordon. Trent and Nkunku or Gabriel Gordon. Trent and Nkunku. Son and Garnacho or Bruno and Odegaard. Ooh. Honestly, Bruno and Odegaard might be slightly better. But Son and Garnacho is definitely the one I would pick, I think. Thoughts on Nico Williams? There's a lot of talk that Forest could sign another fullback and that Anya could play right back if needed. I just don't know about Nico Williams' minutes, to be honest. I would just go Murillo if I was buying a Forest defender right now. Rodgers or Leon Bailey? Feel like Bailey. Yeah, Leon Bailey's better, but obviously he's 1.5 million more expensive. Best of luck for the season. Thank you very much, JSY. João Pedro and Rodgers or Meniz and Winks? João Pedro and Rodgers, I think. Mantare, thank you very much. Saka and Barco versus Eze and Trent. Again, Eze and Trent is probably the better combination. Archer, 5 million, just signed for Southampton. I've got no interest in Cameron Archer. There's not even a guarantee he gets straight into that team. And if he's 4.5, we could talk. Handball rule change will result in less penalties. Possibly, yeah. Eze and Porro or Nkunku plus Gabriel Saliba. Eze and Porro, what are your thoughts on Haaland's performances when Rodri isn't playing? Yeah, I was waiting for this to come up. I mean, Rodri's not even going to be in the squad for the Chelsea game, which means he might not start game week 2. It's a little bit of a concern, but I just think it's Ipswich at home, so hopefully it'll be fine. Thoughts on Visser? Is he slept on? No real interest, to be honest. Brentford have got a lot of players now, a lot of attackers, especially if Tony stays. Like, if Tony stays, Tony and Burma are always going to be in that team. And you got Sharda as well. Carvalho's just come in too. Like, this is 6 million as well, so no interest at all. Visor GG, Flecken, Vardiol, Porro, Mikalenko, and Kunku, Eze, Garnacho, Salah, Andreas, Isak, Haaland. Again, another nice Salah and Haaland draft. 4 million defenders, not so good though. But overall, pretty solid. Start Meniz or Andreas or bring in Smith Rowe. I would probably bring in Smith Rowe anyway, but I'd play Meniz. I'd bring in Smith Rowe for Andreas, but I'd play Meniz over both. Probably cover, but high level, why Haaland over Salah? Just captaincy, really. Like in game week 1, I'm happy to captain Isak. In game week 2, I'm not really happy to captain anyone that's not called Erling Haaland. Vardio and Solanke versus Porro and Havertz. I mean, you could even just go Porro and Solanke and save $1 million and spend that elsewhere. That's probably the better call. Van Dijk, Anya and Mikalenko, or Porro, Minoz and Konza. Probably the second one. Oh, okay. Well, could you not change goalkeeper? Could go Flecken. The second one in isolation, maybe the first one just about otherwise. Kwanzaa or Newcastle defender, if the latter, Burn or Hall. I think there's more clean sheets for Liverpool early on than outside of game week 1. I think there's more clean sheets for Liverpool, so I'd probably punt Kwanzaa. I've really enjoyed the recent content. Only the recent one. What about the ones before that? Best of luck for the season. Thank you very much. Rayron and Kunku or Henderson and Eze. Henderson and Eze. John, new member. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Do you plan on bringing in Palmer after game week 1? Nope. I mean, I'm not saying I'll never bring him in. But I've got no plans to transfer him in right now. That could change. Sangara versus Winks for bench fodder. I think Sangara might be a bit more attacking, but Winks is more nailed on. I would probably just take him. Udogi and Rogers or Porro and Winks. Ooh. Porro and Winks, I think. Pretty close. Is Hall nailed? I think he's going to start game week 1. How many games is he going to play after that? Honest answer is I just don't know. So I don't think we can say Lewis Hall is nailed. I think that would be a crazy thing to say. Full crook for West Ham. He might not even start game week 1. I would just ignore him. I also don't like his price that much. He's 7, right? Have 3 comparisons to help choose. Hall versus... Konza's definitely a better long-term pick, I would say, for minutes. Hall is better for game week 1. João Pedro versus Solanke. Well, Solanke's better, I would say, but he's also 2 million more. Gordon versus Jota. Gordon just because of minutes, I think. Keep both Smith Rowe and Rogers in your team to fund Solanke for Pedro. I'd rather have João Pedro and one of Smith Rowe Rogers, I think. João Pedro and Leon Bailey versus 4.5 striker and Eze. Probably João Pedro and Leon Bailey. Wood scored 4 in 22 under Cooper and 11 in 16 under Nuno. Surely Nuno trust going forward over Awani. Possibly, yeah, but it could just be that Awani takes more and more minutes off him as we get further in. Like, again, I know... obviously, you want to be really sure about players and say, guess what? Chris Wood's absolutely nailed. He's never not going to start. He's always going to play 80 to 90 minutes. It's just not something we can guarantee. So it's whether you want to take that risk, really. But in the short term, Chris Wood's good. And after that, who knows what will be going on, right? You might have spare transfers to bring in whoever the next big thing is. So I think Chris Wood is a good pick. I won't be putting him in, I don't think. Is Sells a good option? If he keeps his place... They got Miguel there as well, so it could be that if Sells has some pretty poor matches that maybe they switch, but I think Sells will start the season as number 1. I just don't know if it's worth the hassle of him potentially losing his place. Whereas Henderson's got less competition at Palace. Porro, Rogers, Gordon, Menez or Vardy, Smith Rowe, Eze, João Pedro. I mean, again, I would probably go for a mixture. I would go for the ones that's closest to my team. I would go for Porro over Vardy, which means that he can then afford Smith Rowe over Rogers. And I would go for Eze over Gordon, so you save 0.5. And then you could just go for Menez over João Pedro if you wanted to. So I'd go for a combination. If it has to be one of those 2 combinations, probably the second one with Vardy. Bruno and Saka and White, or Salah, Odegaard and Barco. I mean, if you have to play them a lot, then Bruno, Saka and White is probably better. If Barker's just going to be benched, then Salah and Odegaard. Mitchell and Rogers or Anderson and Smith Rowe. Anderson and Smith Rowe. Thoughts on Palmer? I think he's a good option. I don't think he's necessarily worth 0.5 over Son or Saka, though. Solanke and Eze or Menez and Bruno. Solanke and Eze or Menez and Bruno. The Eze one. Solar, thank you very much. How do I rate the Forest defense? Pretty good if they can sort out their set pieces, but there's a little bit of rotation worries there. Murillo's probably the one. Maybe Sells if you want to risk it, like I just said. Gabriel and Garnacho and Wood and Rogers or Kwanzaa, Bruno, 4.5 forward and Smith Rowe. Probably the Bruno one if you've got two other good defenders, but Kwanzaa's obviously a bit of a risk. Trent, João Pedro, or Hall Havertz? Trent and João Pedro. Oh, game week 1 bench boost. Oh, okay, hang on then. Well, in that case, I'd probably go Hall and Havertz if you're wildcarding out of it. And the fact you're saying play it your way, you're definitely a Planet FPL listener. I think it. Okay, I don't know. If you're bench boosting but not wildcarding, I would go João Pedro and Trent. If you're going to wildcard straight away, I'd go Hall and Havertz. Pacoda, 21 months. Thank you very much. Good luck. Henderson, Trent, Kwanzaa, Porro, and Kunku. Yeah, looks great, honestly. Like, I just get rid of Turner, Pranav. Why has everyone got Turner? 0.5 in the bank. Do I do Winks to Rodgers or Slanky to Havertz? Winks to Rodgers, definitely. Gabriel, João Pedro, or Porro Meniz? Gabriel, João Pedro, or Porro Meniz? Porro and João Pedro. Save yourself $1 million. Probably Porro and Meniz. Trent and 6.5 mid or Vardy and Gordon. Trent and Garnacho. Bruno and Rodgers or Bailey and Eze. Bruno Rodgers. Bailey and Eze, I think. What's the highest amount of likes you have had? Let's get it up there today. I don't know, actually. I could probably go back and... You can probably find that somewhere in YouTube's back end, but I'm not sure where right now. But yeah, give the stream a like if you're enjoying it. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do as well. That would be much appreciated. Feeling... Let's try and hit 500,000 subscribers on this stream. No, obviously that's never happening. That would be madness. Henderson and Munoz or Pickford and Anderson. Henderson and Munoz. Oh, double Palace though. I'm not sure about double Palace defense. Pickford and Anderson, or Flecken and Munoz. Bruno and Rodgers or Bailey and Eze. I already answered that one just a minute ago. Double Arsenal defence was fixture proof. What changed? I don't think it was fixture proof. The thing that's changed this year is the prices. Last year they were 5 million. This year they're not. And I said this on a video. I think I've done so many videos the last few days. I can't really remember. But you know, if let's say you own an Arsenal defender right now and it's game week 6 and they've got the yeah, so the first 5 fixtures that Arsenal have got, let's say you're in game week 6 and that's their next 5 fixtures, you may not spend a transfer to get rid of them because you might have other stuff to do and like there might not be other good defenders, so you just roll with it. But at this stage of the season, you can literally plan the next few weeks exactly what you want to do. You're essentially on a wild card, right? So that's why people are a bit more iffy about Arsenal defenders. Plus, they're 6 million, right? They're not 5 anymore. So it's harder to fit them in. Like at 5 million last year, they were just ridiculous value. They're still probably going to be good. But, yeah, not quite so much. Alfie says I missed a super... Oh, my God. How far back up is it? I feel... Saka, Trent, Jota, Solanke, and Konza bench. Okay, maybe I did miss that one. Apologies. Or Salah, Saliba, Havertz, Munoz, and Ahmad. Salah, FOMO is real. The first one. The one without Salah. Porro and Ahmad or Konza and Garnacho. Konza and Garnacho, I think. Kevin, thank you very much. Nicola, Eze and Vardy and Winks versus Smith Rowe, Trent and Rodgers would play Smith Rowe. Probably the latter one with Trent and Rodgers, I think. Jaden, thank you very much. Eze versus Rashford. Eze for me. While he's at Crystal Palace. Hopefully he doesn't leave. If he leaves afterwards, absolute nightmare. Absolute nightmare if he leaves to Man City. But this is the way I'm looking at it with Eze, right? If I start with him and he stays at Palace, he's great. I want to keep him for a while. If I start with him and he goes to Man City, it's annoying, but I just jump on whoever's less than 7 million that's looking good. Why Konza over Pau Torres? I think he's just more nailed. Like if Mings is back at some point, could he play left centre back instead? What's the deal with the new bonus points for defenders? Essentially, the long and the short of it is it's going to be harder to get bonus points if you get like an attack and return but no clean sheet. But honestly, I just wouldn't worry about it. I would make your picks as you would have done last year. No Spurs or Liverpool attack. I got Porro and Trent. If you get Gabriel, when will you be benching him? Probably against Spurs and Man City, maybe in Game Week 2 as well. This is why I don't think I'm going to get Gabriel. I think I'm more likely to land on this team. Gabriel to maybe Kwanzaa. I can't remember now. No, Barco. Yeah, back to Barco. Oh, Barco, and then Fernandez instead of Garnacho. But then again, right, let's say I've got this team with Garnacho. Like, where could I spend two million? I could keep Garnacho and get Solanke instead of João Pedro. Basically, João Pedro and Bruno versus Garnacho and Solanke. I mean, I've taken 2 penalty takers out, essentially. I think I'll land somewhere like here. Something like that, maybe? I don't know. I really don't know. Hang on, where am I not missing 0.5 million from somewhere? Oh no, yeah. If I want Bruno, I've got to have Rodgers instead of Smith Rowe. That's why Anthony Gordon's so tempting. Oh, I don't know. Because if I go for Anthony Gordon instead of Fernandez, I've got $1 million to spend. So I'd probably do Barco to another 4.5 and Rodgers to Smith Rowe. But if I go for Kwanzaa, I don't necessarily need Robinson. Because I wouldn't play Kwanzaa in Game Week 2. I don't know. That's a tough one. Yeah, if I'm not going to play Robinson Game Week 2 against Leicester at home, like, what's the point in having him, really? I mean, I guess he's also got West Ham and Newcastle, but they're not great fixtures. Is Solanke just not an option? No, he is an option. Yeah. But like, that's the dilemma, right? Fernandez and João Pedro or Garnacho and Solanke. Or Gordon and and a couple of upgrades somewhere. Don't think Smith Rowe would hurt you that much. No, he's just a good pick, I think. That's all. Hang on, let me just put this. Do. 4.5. Oh, hang on. Saka. Do you know any good browser add-on for Edge? FPL Tools doesn't work anymore. I don't use any browser add-ons, I'm afraid. Bruno and Menez or Jota and Solanke. Bruno and Menez. Why no Jota? Just in case he doesn't start, or if he doesn't start the next game, or his minutes could be low. Starting Kunku or Menez Game Week 1. I'd start in Kunku, I think. Thoughts on strong front 3, Haaland, Isak, Solanke. Member for 6 months. Thank you very much. It's great. Yeah, if you've got the money for it, it's a great front 3. Most people seem to have Haaland, Isak, Solanke, or Haaland, Isak, João Pedro. There's a few like Menez and Chris Woods thrown in as well. 97 out of 100 with a Haaland and Salah draft. Decent. I would use the percentages as a guide. Like, if you're like 95 plus, it's probably fine, or even 90 plus. Like, if you, like I said before, if you've got like a 96, don't try and turn it into 97 if you're happy with it. Victor, thank you very much. Good luck to you as well. Gordon or Luis Diaz? Gordon. No salary is risky. I mean, anyone's risky if you think they're going to score points, I guess. Depends how many points you think he's going to score. Isak or Salah captain, fancy Newcastle to score the most in Game Week 1. Then you should go Isak for sure. Do you not think, right? It does feel a little bit weird to have Salah and not captain him against Ipswich, even though you could say he's the better captain because he's at home against Southampton. It just feels weird to have Salah and not captain him. Like, yeah, everyone keeps saying about Liverpool attackers. You tell me who's going to play. Like, Salah's 12.5 million, and we don't know who's going to play outside of that. Yeah, Jota, sure, but like, is he going to start game week 2? Is he going to start game week 3? Game week 4? How many minutes is he going to get? Is he going to be on the pitch for 90 minutes, 60 minutes? Like, Jota could score a hat-trick against Ipswich, and all of a sudden people have got him are laughing, but he could also just not start, or he could come off at like 60 minutes. It seems likely that he will start. Thoughts on my team? Starting is Raya, Anderson, Mikalenko, Trent, Gordon, Salah, Nacho, Eze, Meniz, Isak, Watkins. Also, no Salah or Haaland. Oh, no, you got Salah. It's decent, yeah. That's the good thing about Salah squads. You can have a great overall squad depth. Please support our podcast, Dad's Our Job podcast. There you go. You can go and check them out. Nico Williams for Konza? Nah, no chance for me. No chance. Oliver, I appreciate all your info and hard work on the editing. I just disagree with your love of Eze, but otherwise spot on. That's fine. Yeah, I've said this a million times. Maybe not a million. Maybe like 900,000. I will get plenty of stuff wrong. Plenty of stuff wrong. I really don't know if I can back Eze. Then don't put him in. Don't put him in. If Jota starts, the 9 can be his to lose. Yeah. Or Darwin Núñez might start the next game, right? Udogi, Romero, or Van der Ven, 0.5 saving would help. Then Van der Ven, if you need the 0.5. Otherwise, Udogi. Why is Ahmad being overlooked? He was United's best player. Yeah, but again, like this thing, right? You sometimes it's not even that a player is good or bad. You just need to decide how many minutes a player is going to get. If you think Amad Diallo is going to start the next 5-6 games, he's a good pick. If you don't think that, then he's probably not so good. Like minutes are just minutes are often the most important kind of deciding factor. I mean, it could be that Amad Diallo does better than Rodgers, right? And if you believe that, you should get him. Not just the Ipswich fixture, it's the next one too. Yeah. Like Liverpool's fixtures are good. Yeah, they're just good. No Jota because of the expected minutes, but you keep Barco. Yeah, Barco's 4 million. Like, who else am I going to have there? Fass. He's not going to go and get me a massive amount of points or anything like that. Jota's 7.5 million and taking up a midfield spot. Barco's my 5th defender. Any red flags? Henderson, Saliba, Porro, Dan Burn maybe if they sign Gay. Eze, Garnacho, Saka, Gordon, Isak, Solanke, bench. Turner I would just sell to a less owned 4 million. Konza, Anderson, Winks. Other than that, good. Zinchenko for 3 game weeks, wildcard 4. The thing again, Zinchenko, like he probably will start game week 1, and maybe until Calafiori gets up to scratch, he'll keep starting, but it could be subbed early. Could just not start a game at some point. Sells or Henderson? Henderson. Why Nkunku over Rodgers? Villa better team and fixture. Maybe on the fixture. No Rodri. They're at home. And Nkunku's just the better player, I think. Porro and Saka or Konza and Salah. I have Haaland. Porro and Saka probably. What are your thoughts on Kamada? Not seeing him much. A good option. There's just other 5.5s that I prefer. Part of it is just not knowing what Kamada is going to do in terms of minutes and stuff like that. But he's a good option. Nkunku, Kulusevski or Kudus, Nkunku or Gordon. Gordon's probably better if you've got the money. But I think I prefer Nkunku plus $1 million, to be honest. Meniz and Eze or Solanke and Smith Rowe? Meniz and Eze. Thoughts on keeping money in the bank? If you're happy with your squad and you don't think there's an upgrade you can make, you should keep the money in the bank. I just wouldn't do it for the sake of doing it. Best 4.5 million forward. I don't think any of them are going to start. So again, a low-owned one from a team you don't want 3 players from. Like, people are on Jebison at Bournemouth, but he's probably going to go. Like Fraser at Wolves. But they're not likely to get you many minutes. Love the content. Best FPL YouTube channel. Debatable that. What do you think? Raya, Udogi, Minoz, Vardy, Palmer, Saka, Son. Oh, Palmer, Saka, and Son. Eze, Isak, Havertz, Solanke. No Haaland or Salah. I mean, for no Haaland or Salah draft, it looks pretty good. Although the defense feels maybe a little bit weak-ish. Benches Ahmad, Barco, and John. I mean, the bench feels a bit weak. I think you've got to get rid of one of Palmer or Saka to upgrade other positions. Would be my thinking there. Less than 1.5 hours. It's probably a better way of putting it, till the deadline. Start getting yourself locked in. See if there's any news on Twitter so far. I don't think so. How many Trent blanks until you eat into that cash? None. Like, I guess I'm keeping it until game week 5, unless I need the money for a better move. I'm not really worried if he blanks if he's starting, to be honest. You need to stop changing your team around. I'm telling you right now, that won't happen. It just won't happen. You'll be doing it right up until the deadline, and so will I. No Watkins talk at all. What do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? Solanke, Odegaard, Cho, who's Cho, like, as in Hudson Odoi, Robin, or Wood-Saka, ESR Hall? Probably the Wood-Saka one, I think. Nkunku or Morgan Gibbs White? Nkunku. What's your thoughts on Sabosla? I just think there's too many unknowns about exactly where he'll play to worry about it. I mean, he's potentially got the fixtures for sure, but that's about it. Henderson, Gabriel, Kwanzaa, Trent, Saka, Smith Rowe, Eze, Gordon, Watkins, Isak, Havertz, bench, Bentley, and 3.5 in the bank. You got no Salah or Haaland. I mean, it looks fine, but I would just spend the money. You're bound to get more points by spending most of that money. Would you keep Gabriel Pedro instead of Porro Miniz if I already have Robinson and Smith Rowe? I think having triple Fulham's fine, as weird as that sounds. To be honest with you, if that's what you want to do, like Porro and Miniz is good. Eze or Nkunku, Eze, Minoz or Udogi. Let me just have a quick look at Palace's fixtures. 2 home games, first 4. Probably Minoz, just about. Saliba and Smith Rowe and João Pedro or Konza, Rodgers and Solanke. Hate game week 1. The one with Saliba, I think. I'd probably go for Gabriel. Swapping Eze to Rashford last minute thoughts. I probably wouldn't do that, but go for it. Gabriel and Henderson or Minoz and Raya. Gabriel and Henderson, I think. I saw a Haaland and Salah draft for money in the back. That's just crazy to me. There's definitely ways to spend that money. Why is everyone picking Garnacho? He might not even start. I don't think everyone is picking him, to be honest. Do we have Man United news? Not that I've seen. Not yet. No messages from Eric Ten Hag as it stands. But you never know. They might come later on. Have I worked out a wildcard transfer strategy if everything goes right? I actually haven't. I got no idea what my first transfer is going to be. Maybe like Haaland out for like a Watkins or something and upgrade another position, but I've got no idea. Would I take Ahmad over Rodgers if we get early team news? No, because then I'd have to just play him over João Pedro, and then I still think Rodgers might be better slightly longer term. Solanke, Eze, Robertson, or Pedro, Saka, Kwanzaa. Pedro, Saka, Kwanzaa, I think. Sheriff, 34 months, thank you very much. Munoz and Rodgers or Konza and a 5.5, thinking Minter. Konza and a 5.5, I think. Minter's good, yeah. Explain João Pedro, long-term, short-term, why. He's 5.5 million. He takes penalties. And that's it, really. I mean, the good home fixtures aren't until 4 and 5, which is a little bit of a worry. But really, he's just to enable the rest of the squad. And also provide a bit of, I don't know, deep cover for future weeks, maybe. And also, he's not that bad this week. Is Murillo the best Forest defender? He's the safest, probably. Eze or Gordon. Eze. Armstrong, Munoz, or Konza Muniz. Konza Muniz. Will Solanke start or even play first game? He's definitely getting on the pitch. I think he'll start. Like, it wouldn't be a shock if he was benched, but I think he will start. Brereton or Smith Rowe, Smith Rowe. Vardy or Kwanzaa, Smith Rowe, Wood or Konza, Trent, Rodgers, Pedro. The second one, I think. Thanks for not hiding players like previous years. Only because I'm not 100% sure. I don't know, maybe I should have. Honestly, the last couple of days have been mental. I just didn't really get around to it. Like, so much... my fault, pretty much. But so much stuff got done last minute. And so I hadn't even thought about it. Alok, thank you very much. Still, best 6.5 million defenders. And Kunku and then probably Gibbs White for safety. But I think if he starts, I prefer Garnacho. Am I not worried about João Pedro's minutes? Yeah, a little bit, yeah. I'm a little bit more worried about them when I've got Rodgers on the bench instead of Smith Rowe, to be honest with you. Which is why I quite like Fernandes to Gordon. And then Rodgers to Smith Rowe. Although I'd maybe even play João Pedro over Smith Rowe in game week 2 anyway, because he's on penalties. Like, I could go for that. Like, with this draft, I've actually got 0.5 in the bank as well. I mean, keeping 0.5 might not be the worst idea. Why not? Games. Who to captain? Salah, Saka. Oh, sorry, Salah, Haaland, or Isak. Probably Isak. If Rashford gets confirmed starting at striker before the deadline, would you take a punt over Eze? No, I still prefer Eze, but I could be tempted like Gordon to Rashford. That could maybe tempt me. Gordon and Bentley or Eze and Flecken. Gordon and Bentley or Eze and Flecken. Eze and Flecken. I think. Flecken, Henderson. I mean, you could just go Eze and a 4 and save 0.5. Nothing wrong with that. Which option would you go with? Solanke and Minter, João Pedro and Diaz, or Gordon? João Pedro and Gordon, I think. Oh, wait. Muniz. Oh, wait. Muniz and Eze. Muniz and Eze, I think. Trent and Gordon versus Kwanzaa and Son. Trent and Gordon. Should I downgrade Gabriel for Porro to upgrade a 4 million defender? No, you don't have to do that. Having one 4 million defender is probably fine. Salah and Watkins or Eze and Haaland? Eze and Haaland. Salah team or Haaland team? What are my thoughts? Haaland. It's on screen. I just want that captaincy in game week 2. Trent and Henderson or Robertson and Raya? I feel like Robertson has similar points potential and will start game week 2 at the latest, and Raya is a huge upgrade. Yeah, not a bad shout if you're confident in the minutes. I think Trent is better though. Emil Smith Rowe versus João Pedro versus Rodgers. Who to bench? ESM, is that Smith Rowe? Yes, it is. I would bench Rodgers, Raya, Vardy, Odegaard, or Henderson, Porro, Saka, the latter, I think. I love the 4.5 and Saka. Just one Man City player, I'm not sure. But it's the same argument as the Liverpool players. Which other Man City player? You know? Everyone says, why have you got no Liverpool attack? Because, again, Salah's 12.5 million. I'm not sure about the minutes for the rest of them. But that is the problem. Like, I'd probably be sat with Oscar Bob in my squad if he hadn't got injured. Plan to bring Salah in if he kills it. I know you left him knowing what he's capable of, so move doesn't need to be knee-jerk. Just want to hear the plan. I just continue going without him, probably. Yeah. I mean, I think maybe get Salah like in game week 4 or 5, possibly. And at that point, I'd have to downgrade like an Isak or a Haaland. But until we get there, I don't know. Like, if Salah... Basically, if Salah scores a hat-trick against Ipswich, my plan will be to roll in game week 2. Essentially. Unless something happens to someone in my squad. Any news for Bowen? No, but he should be fine. How totally locked is Nkunku for me? He's locked. Bench boost. Raya, Saliba. Nice, double Arsenal. Gabriel. Oh, triple Arsenal defence. I like it. Trent, Eze, Gibbs White, Jota, Salah, João Pedro, Solanke, Isak. Steele, Bailey, Porro, Barco. I feel like you could probably do better bench. Like Steele, is he the best 4.5 away to Brighton? And Barco, like double Brighton defence? Probably not. João Pedro away to Everton. I feel like you can do a better bench boost than that. Like Bailey 6.5, West Ham away. I'd rather like take a punt on Amad Diallo. You got 1.5 to spend. Get upgrade Barco, upgrade João Pedro to Chris Wood maybe. No money for Isak. Do you think that Murphy and Gordon are enough to cover Newcastle's first 2 great fit? Well, I wouldn't sell Haaland to Isak, but surely there's other ways you can get him. Like Gordon is just a good 7.5 million. Murphy's probably an okay short-term 5.5, but he's not guaranteed to start. Like I wouldn't worry about covering the fixtures. If you don't want Isak, it doesn't mean you have to have Murphy. Bruno Murphy or Rashford Gordon. Rashford and Gordon, I think. Thoughts on 4-5-1 with only Haaland at top? There's too many good forwards to do that, I think. Emerson, thoughts on West Ham in general? I think they should improve this year, but I don't think it's worth jumping on straight away. No one has mentioned the fact that Gibbs White got more points than Eze last year. Yeah, but total points don't really matter. Because we don't keep players all season. Like if you look at points per match, Eze got 5 and Gibbs White got Gibbs White got 3.8 points per match. Like less than James Ward-Prowse. That's not to say that Gibbs White's not a bad option, but total points is not a great way to value a player, I would say. João Pedro should be on penalties, yeah. Welbeck has taken 2 in pre-season, but both times João Pedro wasn't on the pitch. Is this your final team? I don't know. I see you have 0.5 in the bank. Konza to a 5 like Minoz. Or is there a reason you're set on Konza? It's just to cover later fixtures. I just don't know if I need Minoz for many game weeks, really. But no, I'm not locked. I don't know. I really don't know. Could I just go for Gordon to Fernandes and Smith Rowe to Rodgers? There's something about Man. I just don't want the depression I had with Man United players last year. Because the thing is, right? Let's just hang on. Let me just revert this a sec. By the way, FPL, go back to the old UI. It was much better for my stream setup. So if I just put Fernandes back in, like the first game is good against Fulham, but then it's Brighton away and Liverpool at home. I'm telling you now, if they blank in this game, it's just going to feel rubbish. So, of course, he can go and get points in these 2 fixtures, but I just don't know if I need this depression again. And then it's another 2 away games, albeit one is against Southampton. Then Spurs have like these are not easy fixtures, I would say. Like Man United should improve this year. They should improve. But how big is that improvement? Because the base level of where they're improving from is quite low. So even an improvement might not be good enough. So I'm just not fully convinced by the Fernandes pick. But I don't want Odegaard. I don't want Jota. I don't want Diaz. So it basically leaves Gordon or down to a 6.5. Like, that's it. Like Garnacho and Solanke, for example. Ahmad is the way. He will smash it in the first game. He can leave him on the bench. Yeah, but Ahmad Diallo would be in for Rodgers. Then who would I bench? Maybe Nkunku? Should improve or can't be worse? Should improve. Definitely can't be worse. Odegaard and Solanke or Saka and Muniz. Saka. Why isn't anyone considering Ivan Toney? Two of the first three fixtures are good. 3 of the first 5 are a bit tougher. And also, like, I think everyone kind of accepts that Toney will leave Brentford either this season or next. So there's still a chance he could go this season, right? Nkunku, Barker or Smith Rowe in the 11. Nkunku for me. Is it worth keeping 0.5 if not needed to spend? Yes, absolutely. Is Bruno Garnacho a good double? And is Porro? I don't know about doubling on Man United defense. Honestly, I think they're both good options in their own right. So you could do it. I'm not sure I can do it. Porro's good. Gabriel, Brereton, Diaz, Muniz, or Porro and Kunku, João Pedro. Probably the latter, I would say. Just look at Salah. Morgan Gibbs White and a 4.5 million defender looks amazing. Well, instead of Saka. Oh, I don't know. At some point, I'm just going to have to just land on something and do it. That's a strong bench. It's a pretty strong bench. I mean, you've got to remember that Barker will be on the bench most weeks, so then it looks a bit worse. Remember, a 0.1 drop is like 0.5. Yeah, I know, but at some point you're going to get a price drop. I try not to worry about that stuff too much. We'll see. It might be that someone does rubbish game week 1, they're going to drop, and I might sell them, but I'm not going to worry about that too much. Time to be with you. What chip am I using? None. This week. Foden and Jab, the one without Foden. Foden's not going to start. I don't think. Smith Rowe over Alanga. How do you feel about taking a hit to heavily target Ipswich? Salah and Nunez to Haaland and Diaz in game week 2. Diaz who? I wouldn't take a hit. Don't think it's worth it. Am I the only one that is going Garnacho over Nkunku? I'm sure some other people are considering it. Yeah. Nkunku's ahead for me, but I don't mind Garnacho as a second one. I'm trying to think now. If I do... Oh, yeah, no. Doesn't matter. I got my maths wrong there. Pedro prime for a drop if he doesn't start. Yeah, for sure. Am I going to risk with Kwanzaa, Jota, and Garnacho? A little bit, yeah, I would say. Eze over Nkunku. I think Eze is better than any. Eze is better than any midfielder cheaper than him. I think. Do you think you'll regret not having Salah? I will if Haaland blanks and Salah gets hat tricks for the next couple of weeks. But the thing is, like, again, at some point you've got to just make a decision, right? And my decision is to go without Salah. I'm kind of comfortable with it. Could it be wrong? Yes. Like, people, I know that's going to cut. If Haaland blanks and Salah does really well, like in game weeks 3 or 4, someone will go, "Do you wish you'd gone for Salah?" And I'll think, "Don't be too sarcastic. Don't be too sarcastic." And then I'll be sarcastic. No, do you know what? I like having no points. I like having no points. Someone always says something like that. Honestly, it's so funny. Do you wish you'd gone for the combination that got more points? I don't know really. Don't you think changing Bruno to Jota and upgrading Pedro to Muniz, Wood, and Porro to Vardy or Saliba is better? Not really, no. Don't really want Jota. Drinking a coffee from my Let's Talk FPL mug. Nice. Should I do merchandise? Maybe. I don't know that I feel like merchandise. Like, is it really that good if I just stick my logo onto something and that's it? I feel like it should be customized in a way. Thoughts on this team? Porro, Trent, Barco, Hall, Jota, Saka, Eze, Wood, Haaland, Isak, bench, Konza, Smith Rowe, and Kunku. Also start one. No one's starting Barco over Kunku, right? That's the second time that's been asked. Surely not. Otherwise, looks good. Apart from like the stuff I said before, Lewis Hall, long-term risk possibly. Same with Jota, but Jota could absolutely smash it right now against Ipswich. Look, people keep asking about Jota. Like, tell me this. Predict in the chat. Okay, actually, do you know what? I'm going to put a poll up. Just... Okay, let's see. Team News and Tix just tagged me and said, we'll post some team news later if it's not already out there. So we might be getting Man United team news later. Hour and 7 minutes till the deadline, by the way. Job done, car park streamer. I've probably said that wrong. I probably have said it wrong. I'm terrible with words. Gordon captain or Haaland Saka? Saka or Haaland, definitely over Gordon for me. Am I too risky going with Kwanzaa, Jota and Garnacho? I think I answered that one, didn't I? Jota, João Pedro or Brereton Diaz Solanke? Jota, João Pedro, I guess. What do you think of Mikalenko as a 4.5? I like him. I quite like his rotation as well with Fulham, I believe. Is Konza the other 4.5 you suggest outside of Robinson? Yeah, I think Konza's good long term. That's why he's in. I don't really need him at the start, so he's in longer term. But Mikalenko's nice in the first week. Saka and Rodgers, although they're missing Branthwaite, right? Saka and Rodgers or Odegaard and Eze. Ooh, both scenarios also have Smith Rowe on the bench. I was going to rotate Rodgers, Smith Rowe. Yeah, Saka then probably. Just about. Henderson, Van der Ven, Kwanzaa, Hall, Salah, Fernandez, Eze, Hudson-Odoi, Haaland, Wood. See, for rating out of 10, I'll give it like a 7 because you've got, because I don't want to be too harsh, you've got Haaland and Salah, but I just feel like having to have Van der Ven, Kwanzaa and Hall and Hudson-Odoi just feels like too many sacrifices just to have Haaland and Salah. Does it make much sense to bench Vardiol when my other options are Burn, Porro and Gabriel? I would play those three ahead of Vardiol, yeah. Solanke, Smith Rowe and Kwanzaa or Muniz, Hudson, Solanke, Smith Rowe and Kwanzaa. Trent to Ben White gives you extra for Smith Rowe. I don't want to get Ben White for Trent. I've got triple Fulham and I'm losing my all sanity. Hey, look, I might be there too. Do you believe that Nkunku is going to get good points against Man City with a Chelsea that didn't have the best pre-season? I hope so. I think he's going to get more points than Rodgers. Although, not necessarily. Do we know the Man United lineup? I do not know. I'm waiting to see it from like a source that I've seen from before. Eze is a slow starter, e.g. last season of the three most popular 6.5s, the other two outscored him by miles. But what if they don't this time? People are massively overlooking in Burmo. I think if he was on penalties, he'd be in a lot more teams. 16,000 people currently watching. Thank you very much. Someone just said in the chat. Make sure to give the stream a like if you're enjoying it. Hit that subscribe button as well. Loads of content this season. Absolutely tons. AZ member for 11 months. Thank you very much. Let's go. We are back. We are back. Going with Jota, Salah, Isak, and Haaland. Oof. Play Manizor and Kunku. In Kunku, I think, just because he's at home. Seaman or Jay? Seaman. David. Since I'm going with Manoz, which 4.5 and 4 goalkeeper is the best? Brentford. Yeah, probably Brentford, yeah. Or maybe West Ham. But I'd probably go Brentford. Barco, Winks, Kwanzaa, and Harwood Bellis too many risks for Game Week 1. Does feel a bit weak to me. But I guess it depends how aggressive you want to be. The pain begins. Yes, it does. It begins in 1 hour, 3 minutes, and 54 seconds. I don't know where I need to... Honestly, I wish I could do the deadline stream and also not do it at the same time somehow. Because I feel like I'd be planning a little bit better. I'm not thinking about my own team enough. People massively sleeping on Lukaku and Ronaldo, probably. My move, João Pedro to Solanke, feels the same as last year's in Burmo to Richarlison. No, I don't think so. In Burmo was on penalties and nailed it. In Burmo was a good pick. João Pedro to Solanke is fine. I think. I don't think João Pedro or Solanke will turn out like in Burmo to Richarlison. So look. So the poll on Jota, we've had 4,000 votes. Some people think he'll only start game week 1. Some people think he'll start 2 game weeks in a row, but maybe not get to 3. And a few people thinking 3. By the time you it just comes down so much. Jota might do enough damage in that time to be like a really good pick, and then you just transfer him out to someone else. I don't know. I don't know. Like players like that, I find really difficult to judge because like if he smashes Ipswich, like you're laughing no matter what he does after that. But if he only gets 65 minutes against Ipswich, then comes off, then straight away you're already thinking, oh, well, how much time is he going to get? Could he even start the next game? And I just hate headaches like that. I'm telling you now, here's my prediction. Like, it won't be until a couple more... there'll be like maybe Game Week 2 deadline stream, Game Week 3, I'm not sure. Maybe Game Week 4, the questions will start coming in. Do you think Jota's going to start? Do you think Jota's going to start? Could Darwin come in? Or he got benched last time, or he missed a minute. Those questions will come quite soon, and that's why I just can't be bothered to go there myself. And I'm not trying to put people off going for him. Like it could be that he's the best 7.5 million midfielder for the start of the season. He absolutely smashes it. It's just not for me. I like having picks that I don't have to worry about so much. I don't cope well with picks like Jota, to be honest. Like if Slot had come out today and said. Darwin Nunez, he's probably going to be into after the international break until he's ready, and Gakpo's come back, but he's not up to match fitness. I'd be a lot more interested in Jota, but Slot basically said everyone's fit and available. And the funny thing was, when I tweeted that, I got a lot of replies saying that's really good news for Jota, and I was thinking, yeah, because he's fit and available, but so is everyone else. So it's not that good. I'm so hyped for the season. Phoenix has been playing in my head for the entire day. Nice. Havertz, Watkins, or Solanke? Probably Solanke at the start of the season for the money saving. Saka and Rodgers versus Odegaard and Nkunku. I mean, if Rodgers is going to be on your bench most of the time, I'll go for the Saka one. Otherwise, Odegaard and Nkunku. Woodman is an Eze or Solanke and Smith Rowe Minter. The Wood and Eze one, I think. Thoughts on De Bruyne with Foden not in? Not that interested. Could be good in the short term. Longer term around Champions League, could he get a bit more rotation than we've normally seen? Getting a bit older now. 9.5, no penalties. Not for me. Your 2 cents on Chris Wood over João Pedro. Better short term fixtures for 0.5 million more. Probably not on penalties. I don't hate it. Don't hate it. Bench boost from before. Now Pope, Ahmad, PP, Hall. Wait, Pope, Ahmad. I don't know what PP is. Paul Pogba. JP to Wood, good. Yeah, that bench looks better to me. Why is everyone overlooking Bowen? It's just 7.5 with not great fixtures. That's about it, really. Should I bench Smith Rowe, Meniz, or Rodgers? I'll say Smith Rowe. Henderson, Kwanzaa, Saliba, Mikalenko, Eze, Salah, Smith Rowe, Gordon, Solanke, Isak, Haaland. Who would you change in and out and why? Saliba to Gabriel for high goal threat. That's probably about it. The rest looks alright to me. If you're willing to take the risk on Kwanzaa. Start Bailey or Minis in game week 1? Bailey, probably. How many starts for Kwanzaa? See, Kwanzaa's got a bit less competition, right? It's mostly just Kanate, whereas Jota's got Darwin, Gakpo, and Luis Diaz. Although I get it depends where Slot wants to play them. Like, it could be that Diaz and Gakpo are the only left wingers he wants to think about, and it could be that Jota and Darwin are just competing for number 9. So it's kind of similar to Kwanzaa. I guess at 4.5, you're spending less of your money for that risk, right? My boy Matt said not to watch you. Yeah, I don't blame him. Loads of other Deadline streams these days. Just go and watch them instead. Do. No Haaland thoughts. If you want to go no Haaland, you should go no Haaland. Like, basically, this is what I've been saying for a while now. Salah drafts just look better, but are you comfortable going without Salah for game week 2? Sorry, comfortable going without Haaland for game week 2. $17,000 watching. What's the record? Like 35k or something like that. That won't happen anymore though. They were the good days. That was when less and less people were doing deadline streams. Every year I look at your team and think I can do better, and every year I lose. I mean, lots of people will do better than me this year. You could be one of them. Unless I win. Who knows? Maybe this is my year. I doubt it with this team, but you never know. Jota and Muniz or Smith Rowe and Havertz. Smith Rowe and Havertz probably. De Bruyne game week 6 to Saka, or start with Saka. Saka for me. Thanks for all the streams videos from last season. Good luck for the coming season. Thank you very much. Big up the Bragging Rights League. Ham solo for the win. Good luck. I'm going to end this poll now. What is your plan for Watkins? I'm just winging it a little bit, to be honest. I don't really have a plan for Watkins. And is Son better than Saka game weeks 1 to 3? Maybe the first couple, but I don't think when you add in game week 3, he's better. How does Salah usually do game week 1? I don't think he's ever blanked, has he? Or he hasn't blanked against a newly promoted side, that's for sure. Thanks for the great preseason content. I'm heading over to Galway next week. Nice. Enjoy it. It's a great place to be. For a mini break, like a mini retirement. First time in Ireland, you'll enjoy it. Galway is a great place. Drop Rodgers to a 4.5 and upgrade Pedro to Muniz. Nah. Because the thing is, if I think Rodgers, like, okay, you could maybe say that Muniz is a safer pick than João Pedro. I don't think I would argue with that. But there is much more potential upside with João Pedro and Rodgers than Winks and Muniz. Like, if João Pedro and Rodgers keep playing, they are ridiculous value, or they've got the potential to be. They might not be. They might keep playing and not get any returns, right? But yeah, I don't think I would do that. I would maybe do João Pedro to Muniz or Chris Wood if I could find 0.5 elsewhere, but I just don't think I can. Top 1K in the world last year. Thanks for your help. Again, why didn't I just help myself to that? But congrats. Henderson, Trent, Hall, Kwanzaa, Pedro, Porro, Saka, Jota, Eze, Solanke, Isak, Smith Rowe. Thoughts? Hall to Robertson or Kwanzaa, start Barco. I think Robertson's better long-term minutes than Hall, but Hall is definitely better for game week 1. Like, essentially, it's the same thing, right? Hall, Kwanzaa, and Jota are potential long-term minutes risk. So it depends whether you're willing to risk that, but they could well be worth that risk, right? Like, if they all keep starting, there's really good FPL picks there. Depends where you basically have to decide what your risk appetite is, I guess. Vardy or Muniz or Solanke Anderson. Vardy or Muniz, I think. Haaland, Salah or Haaland, Saka. Haaland, Saka. I would say that. That's what I've got. Saka and Trent or Salah and Kwanzaa. Saka and Trent. Mystery ship is you get to pick any previous game week team. Maybe. Isn't that just a free hit? You've got a team full of players I actually like this season. Yeah, but guess what? In about 48 hours' time, you're going to hate that team. When it doesn't do that well. Mikalenko and Smith Rowe, Brereton, Diaz and Robinson. The latter, I think, just about. Not you also on my TV screen on the FPL show on Sky Sports. Yeah, I was on the FPL show this morning. My team is bad. Yeah, usually is. The new stream setup is pretty great. Yeah, thanks to Marco and Chris for sorting this stream setup. I like it because it's not like a massive... It's not like a massive overhaul from last season, but I definitely think it's better, for sure. And also, the ownership stuff that's scrolling through, that's going to be something else, but it won't work until the first game week goes past. So it's actually going to display different data in the next stream, as long as we can get it working. I say we. Chris is the genius for that stuff. I basically don't do anything. Someone designs it, someone makes it work, and then I'm just the idiot that sits in front of it. This team has mud written all over it. Thanks very much. Yeah. Cheers. No, Mystery Chip won't be all out attack. Do you know how like that would just be terrible. FPL aren't that stupid. Can you imagine if they do that? Mikolenko and Smith. Oh, I did that one. Is Udogie fit? I think so, yes. If so, Trent and Udogie versus Porro and Van Dijk. Ooh, I'm going to say Trent and Udogie. You think the ticker is a great addition? I had a ticker last time, though. And no one ever looked at it. Maybe it's more easy to see now. Am I playing Fantasy Challenge? I might set up a team after this, but I've not really thought about it, if I'm completely honest. Like, not at all. Callum. New season buzzing. Thoughts? Henderson. I like him. He's in my team. Trent, I like him. He's in my team. Porro, I like him. He's in my team. Kwanzaa. And not a bad risk, I would say. Eze. I like him. He's in my team. And Kunko, I like him. He's in my team. Palmer. Salah, Saka, Meniz, and he's like, oof. And you've got Ings. How much is Ings? Like Danny Ings. He's Danny Ings. That doesn't make any sense to me. He's 5 million. Surely Fulker is going to start eventually. Danny Ings get rid of. See, I would do Palmer to Son and get 0.5 to do Ings to a 5.5 personally. The Haaland thing, that's on you. You know, only you can decide. Couldn't you go Kwanzaa over Barco for game week 1 with the extra money? There's no extra money in this team though. This team's got everything. Everything spent. It's the Gordon and Smith Rowe draft that's got 0.5. I feel like I've not given 4.5 defenders enough thought though, because here's what's going through my mind. If I do Kwanzaa for Barco, then in game week 2, Liverpool have got Brentford at home, right? So I'd want to play him and Pedro and Trent. But then I've got Robinson against Leicester at home. That doesn't make much sense. I mean, it's not, you know, wanting to play a player in game week 2 is not the only reason to own them, but I don't know. I'm kind of coming around to this. The thing is, I've had Smith Rowe for so long. Like, Smith Rowe feels like a bit safer that if João Pedro becomes an issue, I can just play Smith Rowe. I don't mind that. Am I as happy playing Rodgers all the time? Probably not. And who's the first player I'm going to want to downgrade? Probably Fernandes. So it's like, I just don't know. I need the deadline to come. Just get me through this pain now. The misery of picking a game week 1 squad. Who are you looking to get in from game week 2? I'm looking to roll the transfer, to be honest. Palmer's not coming in my team game week 2. I don't have any money in the bank. Definitely not taking a hit. I'll be there for you. Top 200 last year. Damn, very nice. I'll never finish that high. Midfield of Salah, Saka, Murphy, Rodgers, Jota. Have $1 million in the bank and no Haaland. Should I upgrade Rodgers? I would, yeah, probably. Or do Jota to Fernandes. I'd probably do Rodgers to Smith Rowe or something like that. Rashford. Sorry, hang on. Sangara, Vardy, Wood to Jota, Robinson, 4.5 forward. I'd probably go for the former, Sangara, or maybe go for Winks instead. And Kunku or Ahmad, bench game. Well, if you've got Ahmad Diallo, you've got to play him game week 1, I think. Why is Garnacho gone? I'm just not 100% sure he's going to start, basically. And so I forced Bruno Fernandes in instead. But I could be tempted to go from Fernandes back to Garnacho and do, or even to go. I don't know. I really don't know. Just give me another 50 minutes and I'll tell you where I'm going to be. Last thoughts on Vardy, not in because of Rodri. No, just not in because I think Trent's better and Porro's cheaper. I mean, Rodri's a bit of a worry, but and also he might not play as attacking this year or straight away. We just don't know. Rashford on a 4.5 mid and 0.5 in the bank. Rashford, Rodgers, and nothing in the bank. Or Rashford and Rodgers, I think. Oh, wait. Yeah, Rashford and Rodgers. Darwin, Solanke, and Morpay, or Haaland, Isak, and Pedro? The Haaland one. Starting Kunku or Smith Rowe and Kunku. A good 5 million defender is better than Konza. Not Minoz, because then I'd triple up on Palace, unless you can suggest a good 4.5 keeper. Gusto, maybe. There isn't many good 5 million defenders. I would just probably go Konza. But Gusto, I guess, with no Reece James. Bruno, Rodgers, Pedro to Gordon, Smith Rowe, Meniz sorted. Yeah, I'm probably just going to keep João Pedro, I think. And then in Game Week 3, I'll probably be selling him. Thanks for helping me win my mid-leagues last year. Win some cash in the process. Very nice. Oh, yeah, just had a thought. With this team, I'd have to play Morgan Rodgers in Game Week 3 instead of João Pedro, who's got Arsenal away. But then Rodgers has got Leicester away, so it's not that bad. Here's a beer as a thank you. Thank you very much. Struggling on the last 4.5 million defender, Anderson or Robinson. Honestly, the best thing to do is probably go through and figure out when you need to play them. Because like Anderson's got West Ham at home in 2, Leicester at home in 4, which could be handy. If you have to play them sooner than that, like Robinson's got Leicester at home in 2, Ipswich away in 3, which is quite nice. He's probably more attacking as well. Salah, Haaland, Isak or Eze? Isak. $4.5 defender on Rodgers or 4 million defender on Smith Rowe. I have another 4 million defender on the bench. I'd probably go the 4.5 on Rodgers. Might have to get some more water in a minute. What about Sanchez and goal? I've gone off Chelsea goalkeepers. I think there is potential value there, but I just wouldn't be 100% sure that like Jorgensen might not come in. I don't know. I can just picture things not going well for Chelsea defensively, and then Maresca just like getting rid of Sanchez for Jorgensen to kind of say, well, it's your fault. I don't know. There is a bit of worry for me about Chelsea in general, but I feel like someone like Nkunku's just probably worth that risk. Chances you'll hear team news ahead of the deadline. I don't know, to be honest. I don't like have anyone that sends me Man United stuff generally. Sorry, this is someone messaging me about their team. Winks is a price drop waiting to happen. Possibly. Shout Cole out, Son in, and Ings out, João Pedro in. That does sound better to me, yeah. 32 months, thank you very much. Oh, that is a shout. Yeah, sorry, yeah. That's why it sounds good to me, because I literally just said it. Right, I get it now. Would I rather have Salah or Trent? Well, Salah, I guess, but there's a lot more to it than that, right? Why am I not having anyone from Arsenal defense? Well, I could, couldn't I? If I do Fernandes to Garnacho, I can do Barco to Gabriel. The only thing is, I'm confused now. Oh, no, wait, yeah, sorry. I can do... Yeah, if I was going to do Fernandes to Garnacho, I'd probably do Rodgers to Smith Rowe, and I'd do one of the 4.5s to Gabriel, so that I could have Smith Rowe as well. That's the dilemma, isn't it? I don't know. Am I that confident in Barco in terms of what? Like starts? I think early on, yeah, probably, but late on, maybe not so much. Do. Is this final? Not necessarily, no. Will Jesus start? I don't think so. Well, he could do, but I don't think it's definitely no guarantee. Start Smith Rowe against United or Nkunku vs City. Nkunku for me. Is Chris Wood a minutes risk? Not early on, I don't think. I think he'll probably be fine. Captaincy poll, yeah, I can put one up in a second, yeah. Locked in with a 96% team. Very nice. Thanks for all the streams. Good luck. Thank you very much. Good luck to you as well. João Pedro and Eze or Wood in a 6.5. João Pedro and Eze for sure. Is saving 1 million for Fernandes to Foden game week 3 worth it? Probably not. I can do a captaincy poll, yeah. We can see. We can basically see how high it is towards Isak. I'm just gonna do. Is the ownership ticker real time? Kind of. It depends. I think it updates once a day, but like I can update it. Oh, I can't remember where the sheet is now. I needed to hang on. Oh, hang on. I got it on. Let me see if I can find it a sec. I need to save this somewhere so I don't have to keep going looking for it. If I click that, let me see. It should be up to date now. Ahmad starting according to who? Oh, according to the FPL newsletter. Okay. Ahmad starts. Okay, interesting. Where's my freaking thing? So I should be able to update that. Oh, hang on. I need to stop that. Sorry. Ahmad versus Roy. Well, the thing is, are you starting Roy? Like, I'm not going to put Ahmad into my team because then I could put Ahmad in and then bench and Nkunku, I guess. I don't want to get sucked into Ahmad Diallo. I don't want to get sucked into it. I just don't know how long he'll start after that. I want to know if Garnacho's starting. Oh, I don't know. I don't want to put Amad Diallo in and bench Nkunku after I've had Nkunku so long. Brian, thank you very much. Will Palmer start? I think he probably will. Also, Walker over Pedro. I'd play João Pedro over Kyle Walker if that's the question. Start Rodgers and Barker or downgrade Haaland? Well, I'd maybe downgrade Haaland if you're having to start Barker and Rodgers every week. Havertz is a good pick. That's my opinion. I'd probably go for Solanke for 0.5 less. With Douglas Luiz going, Watkins for penalties, maybe. He might be, yeah, but no guarantee. Amad Diallo. I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can do it. Will Rashford start? I'm pretty sure he will, yeah. So it's either going to be Ahmad right, Rashford left, and then someone through the middle, or it's just going to be Rashford through the middle and Garnacho is going to start as well. How am I doing? Thoughts on Calvert-Lewin versus Menez? Path, I'm doing good. Hope you are too. Calvert-Lewin could be okay. The fixtures earlier are pretty good, but I think I prefer Menez's, basically. Yeah, that's the thing with Ahmad. Like, okay, you might get him game week 1 now, but what about after that? Yeah. Am I confident that João Pedro will play 90 minutes? No. No. Although, I'm pretty sure, you know Luke that came on the channel, I'm sure he said that João Pedro last season, when he started, averaged like 84 or 85 minutes, something like that, which is absolute madness. You have Rodgers, Ahmad is 100% better. But who's more likely to get long-term minutes? I think it's probably more likely to be Rodgers, right? Am I thinking Bruno over Gordon right now? I mean, I literally am right now, yeah, but I don't know. I just want this game. I want this deadline over. I'm quite tempted by Gordon for the extra million. Nick, gifting memberships, thank you very much. Make sure if you're watching, by the way, and you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Much appreciated. We're now on. Are we on 415k? Yeah, we're on our way to 416k. Let me just update that. Thoughts on Kulusevski? I've got no interest in Kulusevski whatsoever. Long term, I just don't see him starting regularly. Ahmad will continue to start until Haaland is back. What about Xerxes? You just don't think he's going to play at all? Doesn't seem that likely to me. Maybe I'm wrong. Everyone else is convinced about Amad Diallo, so I could be completely wrong about it. Oh, is the stream? That was weird. The stream just disconnected, but not my end. That's so weird. Is Elanga over Smith Rowe silly? I just don't trust Elanga's minutes. I think Smith Rowe will be better longer term. Garnacho and Kwanzaa or Rodgers and Vardio. Ooh, if Garnacho starts, probably Garnacho and Kwanzaa. Thoughts on Kulusevski over on Kunku for the same money? Oh yeah, I did that one, didn't I? No interest in that whatsoever. Isn't Salah and Solanke better than Haaland and Rodgers? Probably, yeah, but I don't have to play Rodgers every week, and I want to captain Haaland next week. So that's why. Be drunk again. Solanke bench? I don't think so. I think he'll start, but we don't know. We're not going to find out either. They're not playing until Monday. Is Porro really worth it? I hope so, but possibly not. Saliba and João Pedro or 4.5 defender and Solanke. Probably Saliba and João Pedro. Fulkrug along with Isak and Haaland. Fulkrug might not even start game week 1. Onana could be an underrated pick with the new United defence. I do think Man United will improve, but Onana's 5 million, isn't he? Matsurawi, 4.5 attacking wing back. I don't know if he's going to play wing back. He could get forward. The problem is he might play left back, right? I think he's primarily a right back that can play left back, a bit like Dallo. Maybe it'll be Dallo left back. I don't know. I'm not completely against the Man United defender, but I think it's only really for game week 1. There's not many weeks after that I expect clean sheets. Son or Saka? Saka for me. Konza or Robinson? Long term, I think Konza's probably better. Any interest in on Ipswich strikers and neighbours? No, because I don't think they're that cheap, right? Aren't they just like João Pedro money? 5.5, 5.5. Unless you're going to tell me that Ladapo is going to start. Sorry, Ipswich, no interest in you, I'm afraid. Nick, 90 months, thank you very much. Daniel, thank you very much. I can't decide Gordon or Jota. Gordon for the safety of minutes for me, I think. Good luck for the new season. Leno being overlooked and go. I don't trust Fulham defence that much. I know I've got Robinson, but he's only 4.5, and Leno's 5 million. So I'm just not interested in spending that much money on a goalkeeper from a defence I don't fully trust. At least his Salah does look like the better option after Game Week 3. It's easier to change him from Haaland than the other way around. Not really. Because whatever moves you would do for Haaland plus someone else to Salah and whoever else, you could just do Salah and whoever that other player is back to Haaland, right? It's not really. It's still going to be 2 moves either way. If this is slow mode, I'd hate to see what the normal speed is like. You got to remember, like, there's been times in the past you've had nearly double the amount of watches as this. Like the chat absolutely flew. It was mental. Can't wait to take 50 grand off KSI. That'd be mad money. Henderson, Trent, Porro, White, Salah, Fernandes, Bowen, nice. Gordon, Odegaard, Miniz, Isak. Decent without Salah, without Haaland, yeah. I like it. Not loads of good, consistent picks in there, I think. Would you consider planning Gordon to Eze in Game Week 4 if your only minutes risk to Hall, Kwanzaa, and Jota? See, that's 3, like, it's quite a lot. I'll just start with Eze, to be honest. Would you start Smith Rowe or Rodgers? Rodgers? If Palmer plays central Nkunku owners could be in big trouble. Feels like they didn't sign Neto right wing for him to play Palmer there all season. This is Chelsea you're talking about. Do you really think they've got a plan? I just like Neto's a good player, but Nkunku is better. So like if you've spent 50 odd million for Neto to bench Nkunku, well, that seems a bit weird to me. I get it, right? You need squad depth and stuff, but I just don't see how Nkunku doesn't start. Again, could be wrong. If he's benched against Man City, it's going to be absolute tears, but I think he'd be fine. Fleck and Porro, Trent Munoz, Gordon, Saka and Nkunku, Eze, Pedro, Harden, Isak, bench, Smith Rowe, Mikalenko, Barco. What are your thoughts? Strong again. Xerxes came back to training massively overweight. Is that true? And Ten Hag said he won't be ready for a few weeks. Ahmad is a great pick. Go for him. Go for him. The thing is, this is the only week I'll probably want to start him. So I'm just going to keep Rodgers for the longer term instead and hope that I'm better off. Might not be. Might not be. 32 minutes till the deadline. Oh, what am I doing? I need more water. Brereton Diaz has great fixtures and looks great. He's not a better pick than Smith Rowe. It's quite close. I think Brereton Diaz is good. If you want to go for him over Smith Rowe, no issues with that whatsoever. Chech Zilly, thank you. Salah and Solanke or Harden and Jota. Harden and Gordon. Opinion on picking Gibbs White for 1 week and pre-booking a transfer. I would just start with Nkunku. Should I start Amad Diallo or Nkunku? I think if you've got both, you probably start Amad, especially now you know he's starting. Thoughts on Longstaff as a cheap midfielder? Isn't he 5? I don't think he's 4.5, right? So, no. Trent, Rodgers, João Pedro, or Gabriel Smith-Rowe Wood. Love from Sydney. The Trent one, I think. Do you think it's mental not to have Salah or Haaland to get a more balanced team? No, but just be sure about your captains. Are we sleeping on Dunk? I've thought about Lewis Dunk. Like for 4 and 5, he's pretty good. You could even play him this week if you needed to. But outside of that, the fixtures are pretty rough, which would be the main worry. Diaz and Trent versus Kwanzaa and Saka. Kwanzaa and Saka, I think. Bentley linked to Arsenal. Free that Arsenal spot up. Is he? Surely not. Are you telling me I've got to change Bentley? Because I'm just going to go back to Slicker. I'm just going to go back to Slicker. He's the man. Where have you seen that? Oh, what? Because Ramsdale's going. I'm not sure about that. Nicholas, new member, thank you very much. Best 5.5 that isn't Smith Rowe, have Miniz Murphy. I would probably go Brereton Diaz and then Minter. Why do you act like those two are the only possible captains? I don't. I'm just saying, if you don't have either of them, make sure you are happy with your captains. That's it. He is linked to Arsenal if Raya leaves. What? Why would Raya leave? Was before Sarr was leaving, though. Won't happen now. Wait. Where's Raya going? Or have I missed something there with Raya? Wait, why is everyone saying that Jota starts? Where has that come from? Not often you get team news for the next day. Yeah, Ray. Of course, Ray's going nowhere. That would be mad. Twitter is saying Garnacho Bent. Hang on. Oh, Lazy FPL saying it. Damn. Jota starts. We could have put this behind an email entry wall. They could have done. Hamad starts according to FPL Brandon. Well, he's just taking it off Lazy FPL probably. Oh, Ramsdale going. Yeah, okay, that makes more sense. Bentley was going to go to Arsenal, but they signed Ajax under 20 English goalkeeper instead. O'Neill said already Bentley is probably going to stay now. Okay. Jota starts. There you go. Put Jota in. Bruno starts. Yeah. I'd say Bruno Fernandes does probably start. Oh, could I put Jota in now? But then we always kind of knew he was going to start this week. It's like next week's my bigger worry. But then it's Ipswich. Oh, we've got a guaranteed Jota start. Just say everything will be okay. It won't be okay. It'll be terrible. I can't believe there's a leak that early. Well, I guess we had Gabriel last year. Thoughts on Kirkes and Bournemouth defence? I probably just wouldn't go there. The fixtures aren't good enough early on, in my opinion. No Haaland gives me Salah, Saka, Son, Bruno, and Kunku midfield with Isak and Minis up top. Enough to cover Haaland? Yeah, could be. I think that's a stronger overall squad than what most people with Haaland will have. Henderson, Vardy, Minoz, Trent, Gordon, Eze. Yeah. Sebastian, that's all solid picks. They are a 2-4. Oh, 0.5 in the bank. I'd probably upgrade one of your 4 million defenders to a 4.5 stronger squad, then that's it. Is Solanke downgrade to upgrade Porro to Trent worth it? Probably not. Best 5.5 that isn't Smith Rowe. I would probably go. I think if I don't go for Smith Rowe, I'll probably go for Minter. I think that's probably what I would do. But Brereton Diaz is definitely an option as well. Yeah, that's what I said. It was quite likely that Jota would start anyway, but I guess it's good if you wanted to go there that you've got it confirmed, right? A 4.5 million mid and Jota or Rodgers and Rashford. Probably Jota now we know he's starting. Get Matthews. Won't need third Crystal Palace player, especially if Eze leaves. Also, one more time, hoping you leave your Man United feelings aside. Play Menez or Nkunku. Nkunku. Sorry. It's nothing really to do with Man United, though, to be honest. Yeah, see, my problem with Jota, again, like I've said this loads of times, it's like the next few weeks. It's not this week necessarily. Jota starting increases the percentage chance of Jota starting game week 2. Does it? Guess so. A little bit. Oh, I don't really want. Oh, maybe I should go for him. I don't really want Bruno. If I do Bruno to. Yeah, I'm just messing around a bit on the other screen so I don't mess up the stream setup. Then I can go back to Smith Rowe. I definitely can't go Kwanzaa though. I wouldn't go Kwanzaa and Jota and Trent. I wouldn't want to block Salah. I don't know. I could be tempted by Lewis Hall. Robinson to a 4, got Barker or Porro to a doggy. Robinson to a 4, I think. Do you think this is too risky? Defense is super weak, but other than that, Henderson, Porro, Kwanzaa, Barco, Robinson, Johnson, Salah, Jota, Gordon, Rogers, Smith Rowe, Haaland. I would drop something somewhere. Gordon to a 5.5, Solanke to a 5.5, and upgrade that defense. I think it's a bit risky. Eze, Salah, Wood, or Rogers, Smith Rowe, Haaland. Jota start. Is he better captain than Isak? No. Eze and 4.5, Fodder or Gibbs, White, and Rogers. Probably Eze. Faisal, rate my team. Henderson, fucking Trent. Barco, Salah, Muniz. João Pedro. Start bench. Muniz, João Pedro. I'd start João Pedro, I think, this week. Captain Salah, Saka, Isak. Ishan, thoughts? Again, it's just a strong squad. Most squads are pretty good right now. Captain, Isak. Should I get Jota, Bruno? I would say you don't need them with that team if you've got Salah, to be honest with you. I still think Isak's still a much better captain than Jota, in my opinion. I mean, who knows how many minutes Jota will get. What changed? We already knew Jota was starting. Yeah, I guess it's just nice to have it confirmed, right? Saka or Son for the first 2 weeks. Son maybe, but you're probably going to need them longer, so I'll say Saka. Is Alisson not away into the Liverpool defence, then maybe go elsewhere on defenders to save money on Trent? It's an option, yeah. I won't do it. I like 4.5 defenders. On the last video, you were a little down on João Pedro. I know, but it's just what he could offer at 5.5, right? If any other game has been open for a month and still tinkering. Well, I mean, the most important info is the last week, right? The rest of it is just because we enjoy playing around with the team and talking about it. I think I'm going to stick with my guns and not go with Jota, even though it's going to be horrible on Twitter tomorrow when he's just smashed the hat-trick past Ipswich. Who knows? He might get injured before then. Currently have a midfield 5 of Winks, Eze, and Kunku, Odegaard, and Gordon, but can downgrade Eze to Kulusevski. No, I wouldn't downgrade Kulusevski. Sorry, I wouldn't get Kulusevski. Kulusevski's much worse than Eze, in my opinion. What's your take on Bailey's minutes? Good, although around Champions League, he might still get managed. I'm not sure he's the kind of player that can just play through so many games. Harvey says the super chat got missed. Possibly, there's a lot of messages coming through. And I didn't get missed. I said Eze. Right, 20 minutes. I would halt on the super chats a little bit now because I need to think about my own team. I don't really want Bruno, but I don't know if I can put Gordon in. I think I should probably stick with this. How does this compare to the first? I mean, first draft had Salah and Armstrong and João Pedro. It had so instead of Haaland, I had Armstrong, and instead of I don't know whoever else, it had like Palmer and Salah. Definitely wouldn't have had Barco. I just really want a 5.5 instead of Rogers. That's why I keep coming back to like downgrading Fernandes. No, I'm not going Salah instead of Haaland now. That's done. No interest in Cameron Archer whatsoever. I don't want to go for 4 million defenders. Like, I could do Trent to a 6 million. Gordon in for Fernandes and Rogers to Smith Rowe. I guess I can always downgrade Fernandes later if I need to. Rogers doesn't pass the eye test. How many times have you watched him play like during pre-season and stuff? Obviously you had last year as well. It's a shame we don't know if Garnacho's starting. And Amad Diallo starting means there's less likelihood that Garnacho would definitely start. Now, Amad Diallo for Rogers is not happening. It's not happening because then I would just bench Amad Diallo instead. I said who wasn't starting. I'm holding on to Eze. Eze's locked for me now. Unless we get Fabrizio Romano or Ornstein tweeting in a minute to say that he's not that he's going to City. How do I think Rutter would affect João Pedro? Yeah, it could take some minutes off him. No Arsenal defence is a mistake. Possibly. I mean, I don't know. I don't know now. This is gonna bug me now. 20 minutes. Like Garnacho in, and then Robinson to Gabriel. And then Rodgers. I feel like this is. I don't know. I feel like this is a slightly stronger squad, but then in game week 2, I'm playing Gabriel against Villa, so something like that. Garnacho is benched apparently, according to who? I mean, it could just be. It could be Gibbs White instead. How is this knee-jerk central? This is literally the team selection I put out the other day. Like, but then I'm gonna have to play Gab. Oh yeah, obviously I put Gabriel in. I think the only way I'm going to be completely happy is to ditch Gabriel and go for Gordon and just keep Smith Rowe. But I don't know what to make of Rodgers. If we knew Rodgers had great minutes, I'd be so much more tempted. Van Dijk starts. That is a shock. Where's that been leaked? I'll tell you now. Here's a. I've got a bit of Man United news for you. Anana's going to start as well. Garnacho is starting. Ten Hag confirmed. Garnacho starts calling too. Rodgers will get good minutes. I mean, Aston Villa fans seem pretty confident on him. Bruno's going to start, yeah. I think he might start. Yeah, Jota starts. We got that. We got that. We got that info. I think the compromise is this. Robinson. And then Gordon. I feel like an early wild card is like inevitable because I'm just going to get so much stuff wrong. And then 0.5 in the bank. I don't even know if Barco to Kwanzaa maybe. I mean, knee jerk would be getting rid of Trent. Bruno team was much better. Garnacho too risky. Yeah. I mean, I could just do this with 0.5 in the bank. It's not the end of the world. Midfielder Brereton, Diaz, Minter, Szoboszlai, Son, and some other guy. Dachi? That sounds quite weak to me. Murphy or Hudson-Odoi? Probably Murphy to start the season. Best of luck for the season. Daku for a punt for a few weeks. Who's Daku? Tom. Am I missing something there? Oh, Doku. Not a bad punt, but obviously you know the risk of Man City midfielders, right? Eze Munoz to Jota, João Pedro. No, I'd probably stick with the Eze one. Trent Saka or Salah Mikalenko. Trent and Saka. Gabriel and Smith-Rowe or Luka D. Gabriel and Smith-Rowe. Oliver, how's it going? Can't believe it's been 17 months. What's better? Vardy and Rodgers or Porro and Smith-Rowe? Probably Porro and Smith-Rowe. Thoughts on Henderson, Trent, Saliba, Saka, Smith-Rowe, Eze, Brereton, Diaz, Haaland, Watkins, Eze. Damn, nice. I think it's good. Murphy or Smith-Rowe, Smith-Rowe. If you have 0.5 available, he's Jota over Eze. I'd go Eze, I think. Eze sneezed at the Friday meeting and doesn't start. Trust me, bro. That'd be a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. Thoughts on Bergvall? I wouldn't go there. I'm just not sure he's going to play enough. I mean, I guess it's not that much worse than Winks, right? But still. The team you've got on screen is the best. 0.5 in the bank. Oh, is it though? I feel like I should put another 4.5 defender in, but who? Like Kwanzaa. Maybe I should just take a punt on Kwanzaa. But is Kwanzaa that much better than Barco? Maybe, maybe not. The more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. Havertz or Solanke? I'd probably go Solanke and save the 0.5. Thank you for being a member, by the way, for 21 months. Hall at 4.5. Yeah, Hall's a nice punt for game week 1. Triple Newcastle, though, for me. Start Smith-Rowe or Rodgers. I'm going to say Rodgers. Maybe I've just thought maybe I've just thought about Smith-Rowe too much. I feel like Smith-Rowe almost like he was never locked, but he felt like he was just always going to make it in my team. Maybe I shouldn't be that like confident about him. I'd become a little bit attached to Smith-Rowe, essentially. You got me singing Kiss by... Yeah, sorry, I always like sing along to what I'm listening to. That's just come on. Thoughts on Carvalho? I just don't think Carvalho starts straight away. Oh, Reese in the chat. Shout out Reese. Thank you for the help editing all the videos. Smith-Rowe down to Winks. Nah, I don't think so. I mean, Smith-Rowe to Winks would just get me Fernandes without having to change any... No, because I've got 0.5 in the bank, so I could just go down to Rodgers. Oh, I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. If... This is all reliant... This is basically all reliant on João Pedro. If João Pedro gets good minutes... If João Pedro gets good minutes, then I very rarely need to play Smith-Rowe. Apart from maybe game week 3, but then Rodgers got Leicester away. So maybe that's okay. TNAT tweets. What's TNAT? By the way, if you haven't already, make sure to hit subscribe because you know it's cool getting more subscribers, and there's going to be content all throughout this, this season, etc., etc. Team news and Tix just dropped some. Oh yeah, team news. Okay. On Twitter, decently owned United player not starting for the. Oh, but you got to go to Patreon. Oh, okay. This page doesn't exist. I mean, is anyone from Man United that highly owned? I don't think they are they? Who could be benched that's highly owned? I mean, the highest owned player is Bruno at 19%, Garnacho at 18%. So maybe one of those. It's surely not Bruno. Garnacho, I guess, yeah. Amad Diallo, but we know he starts, right? We've only got 8 minutes. We've only got 8 minutes. By the way, start thinking about getting your team locked in because stuff will fail. The servers could go down. If Garnacho's benched and Amad Diallo starts, that actually makes me like Bruno more because he could be playing quite high. I think I'm starting Barco. I've got to start someone away from home, and I feel like I could start Robinson, I guess, but I don't want to start him against Bruno. De Ligt is great value at 5 minutes. I don't think he is, to be honest. I really don't think he is. I'd rather go for a 4.5 and like hope someone like Matsurawi is going to start or something. Just auto pick at this point. Not sure that's a good idea. Eze news. There's been nothing really. The rumors haven't got any stronger. There's a lot of like bookies odds saying he's odds on to like go or close to, but I'm just going to start with him and downgrade him if needed. I feel like there's going to be a lot of early movement for transfers. I think that the five banked transfers thing is good. But I think there could be a lot of movement. And the good thing about having someone like Fernandes is I don't have to worry about him. Even if he's not got the best fixtures, I can just leave him in. But I can't believe I'm starting with Fernandes again. Any concerns on Saka being burnt out? Not really. Not enough to take him out. Arsenal left back roulette. I mean, Zinchenko might start the season, but for how long? Hall or Livramento to see more game time early on. Lewis Hall, I think. You missed my 17-month super chat. I didn't know. I replied to that. Sorry if it's been asked, but at work, any Ahmad leaks. Amad Diallo starts apparently. Gordon or Jota? I think Gordon's better, personally, longer term. Garnacho to Luis Diaz. Rogers to Winks. JP to Solanke. Maybe. I'm not sure about Luis Diaz. I'd rather go to Gordon, but overall, yes. Sales and Fabianski, nice. Do I just keep hold of Eze? Yes, I reckon so. That's what I'm going to do. 6 minutes until the deadline. There's a few things to do. One, lock in your team. Two hits subscribe. 2 hits subscribe. 3 hit the like button. Why not? Is Kwanzaa benched? I don't think so, but I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming he's going to start. He started the last game. There is part of me that thinks like Trent's the one to go. Like if I do Trent to Gabriel, I can do Barco to Kwanzaa and still have point, and then do Rogers to Smith Rowe. So it could be like this instead. I don't know if I should be so worried about getting freaking Emil Smith Rowe into my team, honestly. But then it feels like Kwanzaa's just going in to cover that Liverpool defence. And I've still got 0.5 in the bank. Maybe I could just bank that. I've had Trent for so long. I really want Trent. I really want Trent. I wish there was a 7.5 million midfielder that I really wanted in this team. That would just make my life so much easier. It's always just 0.5 million. Maybe I'll just go for Kwanzaa instead of Robinson. I mean, Robinson good for Leicester at home. Outside of that, do I really need him that much? Maybe that's the play. But then I'm starting with both Barker and Kwanzaa, and they could lose their place. Oh, I'm gonna end up with a team I don't like. I can feel it already. I'm gonna end up with a team I don't like. Oh, this stupid thing. No, I'm not blocking Salah because I don't have Salah. If Slicker goes out on loan, he gets price locked, so it's not a big deal, to be honest. I'm out. The stress is killing me. Well done. Good luck this season. The stress will be gone soon. 3 minutes and 44 seconds. This deadline stress made me put in Trippier. Oh, jeez, I'll never get that stressed. I don't really want Kwanzaa and Barco. I'm not going Ahmad over Bruno, no. Like, long term, Bruno's definitely going to stay. Slick is just a 4 million lower end goalkeeper. None of the 4 million goalkeepers are going to play. Who should it be instead of Slicker? What's the big concern? Do 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 do. Last minute thoughts about overlooking Watkins. I'm not worried about Watkins, honestly. Pope and Vardy or Ray and Poro. Yeah, I saw that Reddit thread, but I don't think it's correct. I think they get price locked. Mention Kunku or Muniz. Muniz. I don't like the fact that I've dropped. I don't like the fact that I've dropped Robinson. I had Robinson so much. I've had him in so many drafts. Like, I could do Rodgers to a 4.5 and Barco up to Robinson, but then I'm not going to play him in game week 2. And then after that, who cares if Kwanzaa keeps his place? It just feels a bit risky. Oh, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going to end. Garnacho confirmed on the bench. Confirmed by who? I reckon he's going to start. Could be Rashford through the middle. Oh, Salah's going. Salah. Praz is going for Salah and Haaland. I love it. 1 minute 22 seconds. I think I'm going to have to land on this. Like, I can always play Porro and Trent if I need to. And so Kwanzaa from game week 3 is fine. So I need Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is fine from game week 3. I need Kwanzaa, one of Kwanzaa or Barker to keep their place. I don't like this though, honestly. I just don't. If Bruno does well tonight, great. But I'm not loving that pick. I think it's too late to change it. No, I think Cons is slightly better longer term than Robinson. Robinson was such a fun pick, though. Robinson against Leicester was the play. I think I'm going to have to stick now. Oh, maybe I should have gone for Jota. Oh, I don't know. I really don't know. Gabriel bench. I hope not. I really hope not. Gabriel bench is not. Gabriel won't be benched, but if he is, there we go. I'm locked in, I guess. We're done. We're done. Oh, I can't. I think it's a mistake. I'm not happy with this team. I think I forced Bruno Fernandes in, and I don't think it's good. I don't like the fact I got Rogers, Barco, and Kwanzaa. Eze to Rashford last minute. Ouch. Not sure about that. There we land. There we land. Everyone now hates their team. I hate my team. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. Some people are saying Kwanzaa's better. I hope not. If Kwanzaa's benched like straight away, that's like an absolute killer. Wait, who's saying Kwanzaa's benched? Like it's oh, I don't care. I don't care now. I do care. Oh, I should have gone Gordon. I should have gone Gordon. I should have gone to Gordon, Robinson, Smith Rowe route, I think. Deadline regrets, yeah. Mount starts. Imagine if Bruno benched. Bruno's not getting benched. Bruno could play really deep though. Oh, I don't. I hate this team. Oh. Garnacho was the one. I don't know. I feel the 6.5 or 7.5 million mid. I think was probably better. Still got the wild card. Yeah, I could go for an early wild card. Oh, that's terrible, isn't it? You fumbled the bag. You fumbled the bag. Maybe I did. Maybe I did. Well, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that, make sure to give it a like and hit that subscribe button. Because why not? In blue, and that's in the... by the way, sorry, let me just go back to this. 1-0 Fulham. Smith Rowe. Don't worry, you can wildcard now and do it all again. If Kwanzaa starts the next few games, this team's fine, but yeah, I could be setting up for an early 4.5 million defender transfer, and that's rubbish. Did I just accidentally copy last year's winner? I don't think so. Did he end up on this? Yeah, Bruno starts. Yeah. We all know that's going to happen. We'll see. We'll see. By the way, just while you're all still here, if you haven't already checked out Sleeper, it's completely free to download. This is the app, and there's a pick'em game which you can still, I think you can still submit ahead of the deadline today. You just have to predict the results of all the games this weekend. And if you join my league using the link in the description below, there's a Premier League shirt of your choice for the winner of this week. And if there's a tie between people, I'm just going to do like a random a random picker on the Game Week 2 deadline stream to choose who's won. And I can message people to get like email addresses and stuff. Anyone that's joined can chat in here as well. It's super simple. You just have to pick who's going to win, lose, or draw each match. I've gone for Man United, Liverpool, Arsenal. Draw between Everton and Brighton. Forest, Newcastle. Draw between West Ham and Villa, Brentford, City, and Spurs. I didn't submit my team in time. Well, for FPL, you're done, but for this, you can still do it. It's called Sleeper, but there's a link in the description that will take you straight to my league. No Garnacho confirmed by Mark Goldbridge. Well, it's a good job I didn't go for him then. Damn, Amad Diallo. That means Bruno's probably playing through the middle, which is nice. So maybe this is not too bad of a team. Haul over Kwanzaa? Hopefully not. Haul over Kwanzaa for game 1, pretty good. But hopefully long term, Kwanzaa's the one. Don't go. I've got to go. I'm gonna go and get dinner and stuff. Don't tell me Kanate starts tomorrow. I don't want to hear it. How long does it take to update FPL? Probably like 30, 40, 50 minutes. Diallo was the one, maybe. Mount through the middle. Oh, where's Bruno playing? I want Bruno high. Need him high up the pitch. Change the yeah, I'm not liking the Kwanzaa move. I don't know. Anyway, there's no information about Kwanzaa and Konate from a reliable source, I would say. Bruno left wing back. I hope not. I'm gonna just check now who's joined. How many people we got in the league? There's just over 2,000 people in the league. Oh look, you can see all the people joining at the bottom. Can anyone tell me what the prize pool is? Oh look, side dart on there. Actually, I'm not. Do you know what? I've just realised how much of a mistake this is to. I'm not putting the chat up on a deadline stream because I know exactly what's going to come. Someone's going to put something stupid in the chat. So I won't do that. Can't find the link for Pick'em. It's in the description below. I think there's a good chance Kwanzaa starts for sure. I just worry about Barco and Kwanzaa as a combination, like long term. But look, let's not pretend we're going to get to 5 free transfers very often. Yes, we know Amad Diallo starts. Yeah, that news has been out for ages. Amad will get 55, 60 minutes, then Garnacho in like the Community Shield. Yeah, exactly. Amad's minutes are not safe, I would say. Oh, I don't know if I've accidentally clicked on someone here. Although anyone that puts something stupid, high stream, anyone that puts anything stupid in the chat, I'm kicking you out, and there's no prize on offer. But basically, with the prizes, it's up to me to decide how I want to kind of do them, like weekly, monthly. You can do them over a season. It's like basically they've given me like $3,000 to spend on prizes. So I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to keep it simple. First game, I'm going to ship a Premier League shirt to the winner of Game Week 1. And then we'll do maybe for like September. Oh, I got to stop clicking on that. Maybe for like December, I'll not December, September. I might do like a monthly one and stuff like that. Yeah, I could do PS5 things like that. I'm just a bit wary about where someone might win from and where I might have to ship it to, but we'll see. What's for dinner? A pizza with a match? Not pizza, no, not pizza. Maybe takeaway. Am I going to FF Fest? No. I'm not going to Fest just because I live in Ireland and I've got to do my deadline stream. Like my deadline, nothing gets in the way of the deadline stream. Basically, there's 2,271 of you in the league now. A signed shirt. I could sign it. I don't know if I can get anyone else to sign it. Anyway, that's my picks. If you want to play Pick'em and get your choices in before the deadline, it's completely free. Just click that link in the description. There's loads of other stuff on here as well, by the way. Like if you want to do draft mode, there's tons of customization and stuff like that. It's all completely free. I'm going to do a draft with some other content creators, I think, as well. Someone's DM'd me. Do you know what? I'm not going to look at it on stream because I'm smarter than that. I'm smarter than that. Anyway, I'm going to leave it. Thank you very much for joining me for FPL. There'll be a stream on Sunday to go through how bad my team performed in Game Week 1 and obviously content throughout the season. So thank you for watching during pre-season, all the likes, subscribes, all that good stuff. We're going to do it again now for the next 37 weeks. Enjoy your weekend. Fingers crossed Man United will win today and Bruno Fernandes will score a hat-trick. Otherwise, I'm off. Thanks very much, and I will catch you again soon.